Amay, everything is good, no?
Yes, sir. We are live. Just
all right.
I will hand over to you. A very good morning to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us today on the day 3rd of IDEA 2021 International Conference. The last 2 days were amazing, and we have been receiving participation from around 15,000 plus people from across India and abroad. That is a significant ratio, and the impress rate and the positivity rate of the conference through the feedback received was more than 96%, which is, according to an Indian and national standard, is a wonderful feedback rate for any webinar or conference out there. So I congratulate all of you, all the participants, all the organizers for this wonderful conference. And you should be really proud to be able to be a part of this wonderful conference of 4 days of international reputation. I am Amay Agrawal. I am the founder of SkillSlate Foundation, a non-profit organization working in education domain to make education skills and opportunities accessible to all. We have been working since past 1 year and have trained over 25,000 people from across India. Today, I welcome you on behalf of COE India and SkillSlate Foundation for this international conference, and also our sponsors, EON India and our academic partner groups. I welcome Dr. Srinivasan sir, Gurendra Bharadwaj sir, Yogesh sir, Adib Ali ma'am, Rajesh Bansode sir, Balaji Muthuswamy, and none other than our convener Raghavendra Venugopal sir, who was the man behind this wonderful idea and has led us to this wonderful event and this conference today. I welcome all the speakers, our dignitaries, and I thank all our patrons, our supporters, our leaders, and those who have been supporting us from since many days. Thank you so much for being a part of this conference. We shall begin the day 3rd session 1 today, and I hand over to Dr. Raghavendra for guiding us what we have in store for today and what exciting sessions are going to be there forward. Thank you so much. I welcome you all again. Over to you, Dr. Raghavendra.
Thank you, Amay. It was a very wonderful journey from past 2 days. In fact, very overwhelming footfalls in YouTube, which I came to know through you. We are looking for the last phase of it. Day 3 and day 4 tomorrow, and very exciting topics have been there today. Well, I all have to give the credit for the COE India. Been association of Council of Examiners, where the consortium of all of controllers of entire pan-Indian universities have been there. We are working and striving towards to make assessments and examinations much easier and accessible for all the students. In association with SkillSlate, Zoe Studios, powered by Zoe Studios, where they are into the non-profit organization for especially in academics. Okay, and it's sponsored by ION Idea and academic partners with GNI and OT and all. Good to see that today we have a lined up session, information and communication technology, a boon or a bane. Very, very interesting topic, because especially in pan-India, at the time of pandemic situation, where the academics were clueless, such things, such platform enabled us to take it up. We are much competitive. I want to say that, we are much competitive. Time to discuss about the advantages, loopholes, how could we be able to see the futuristic academics, including the digital savvy and all. So with this, we have a very eminent academicians across, leaders across academic leaderships with having enormous amount of ICT experience, or rather I must say that they have contributed for the ICT. So one such today that we have with the opening remark, Dr. Rajesh S. Bonsude sir. Sir, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
To speak about audience, to speak about him, that he has graduated from BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering from JNT University, Hyderabad. Masters of Technology from DAVB, earlier known as the University of Indore, and PhD from SGBA University Amravati in the areas of wireless communications. At present, he is a professor in IT, and he is also IQAC coordinator for Thakur College of Engineering and Technology. And must say that he has been published more than 75 research papers in the domain of wireless communications and digital platforms, which very keen in understanding what he has been contributed, and perhaps he will definitely share his thoughts today with us. He's also served as an external examiner for Research Progress Monitoring Committee seminar presentations for the PhD research scholars in the domain of information technology for Finolex Academy of Management and Technology, Ratnagiri. He's also an advisor consultant for on NBA for the St. John's College of Engineering Management at Palghar, Maharashtra. So in right way that enormous things it speaks, but I would like to limit to another 3 points: external examiner and also a member of Research Progress Monitoring Committee for the coursework for the Finolex Academy of Management and Technology, Palghar. He is also invited speaker for the subject expert in the interview of faculty positions, computer information technology for SVKM Institute of Technology at Dhule. He is also a departmental advisory board, a member of departmental advisory board for St. John's College of Engineering and Management. He has delivered an expert lecture on the theme of bridging the standardization gap on the occasion of World Telecommunications and Information Society Day 2019. This is very limited, which I could able to say, but there are a lot of things that which could speak about Dr. Rajesh. As the time is a positive for us, I don't want to invest time onto that. Let us hear from Dr. Rajesh so that the word of wisdom will be able to to take it on. Over to you, Dr. Rajesh, sir. It's all yours.
Thanks a lot, sir, for welcoming me. I am audible?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. So I'll explain the whole session in 2 halves. First half is the way we experienced. I am working at Thakur College of Engineering and Technology. We are autonomous college since last 2 years. We'll experience the real-time problems that we faced in ICT when we started with the conduct of exams. For the first time, pandemic came in last year, May 2020. First exam we encountered, where we saw that students who are in the era of this technology, many went to the native places, many were in Bombay to give exams. We encountered to see that 10% students were even in villages. And technology impact has made so much that students were having technology in their hands, but were short of network and they couldn't give their exams, assignments in time. So they used to tell, sir, we have to travel 2 kilometers away from my village where I'll get my network. I'll submit my assignment or exam papers in that moment. Give us some time. So even that experience we have taken, we have seen in the last year, how students have faced in the initial start in the year May 2020. As time progressed, students have become well versed with technology. At institute level also, we have experienced which technology online platform will be better, whether it's Google Meet, GoToWebinar, Zoom, or Cisco WebEx, or any other kind of platform which will be comfortable. So we did a lot of R&D we did. We also understood how to make a mechanism so that students should not copy when the exams are going on. What expertise best technology we can provide, what ways we can give so that they should not be in a position to open in another tab and copy something from Google. Before that, we also ask students to show the camera around, 2 meters around them, that no books are available or no material is available with them, so that the copy should not take place. So then what has happened is slowly students have started understanding the awareness that we, the faculty members at our end, have started knowing about how sincere the exams have to be conducted to students, how academically delivery has to be very clearly monitored, what students are writing and what they're giving us back as an answer. We're assessing them and returning them so that they get fair marks. So that they also get the judgment, we also get the judgment that everything is made fair and clear. So initial glitch was to understand technology at our end as a faculty members. We deans, we faculty members sat together on many online discussions. How can we go up with which technology? Why this tool? Why only not this tool? What are the pros and cons of all tools? Whether should we conduct exam in multiple choice questions or it should be theory part of questions, how the end exam of university should be conducted. Since we are autonomous, we got our freedom to conduct exams in the way we wanted. So we took out of, say, for example, 80-20 pattern was there. In 80-20 pattern, in 80 marks ka pattern mein we had 40 marks MCQs for 1 hour. For 45 minutes time was given to them. 15 minutes break. Again 1 hour was given to them for 40 marks remaining question. For 1 hour to 1.5 hour time was given for remaining 40 marks theory answer to be answered, questions to be answered. So that way we monitored that when both the links were given and the links were shared in Google Classroom. So we had to give each student a specific ERP ID through which only they can join, and specific so that we can get the authenticity of the student. We asked students to show their ID card, whichever they had recently. So only that student is giving the exam, and we asked students to even on the camera so that we get the genuinity or authenticity, and class teachers are put in the loop and exam coordinators are put in the loop so that student authenticity is checked roll number wise. The 70 students are given to a teacher to conduct an exam in a session. So all 70 are checked as per roll call, and in an Excel sheet in advance, all the ERP IDs with the roll numbers were passed to students. And that is how was the initial part, how exam was conducted. Now, the other part is that we are conducting exams now regularly. Last December also we conducted, November, December, now May also, April, May we conducted exams. Now what has happened, we have experienced that students are also now handy with the technology. You give a span, you give a mechanism, they do that the way and they upload it. So if you look at it at India level, the mass students who give exams, basically we have to see that what best mechanism that we can provide to them in terms of technology. Second is in terms of the ease of use of technology, so that it should be easy to everyone to use, whether that is student of first year of engineering, second year of engineering, third year of engineering, or final year of engineering. With just a simple 5-10 minutes of demo should be in a position to make students understand how the exams have to be given and what a note has to be made. And every exam, what we used to do to see the authenticity on second page or third page or first page, we should tell them to write on the whole answer is to be written in black pen. So just have authenticity check. You tell students to write on second page, sometimes left side or right side on with the blue pen, their name, roll number, and the seat number and the exam name. So we can understand that those students who have got instructions one day before evening, they have followed that, and all students who have attended that are the authentic students, and the authenticity is checked at a secondary level, one more level up. So that things are made furthermore transparent, furthermore clear to the teacher, and when the same teacher is assessing the paper, he or she also will understand that paper when it is assessed. It is that like the instruction was given, like the seat number and other things have to be put in, like second page, left side, for example. So that is put in or not. If it's not put in, then the student is again cross-checked by asking why it is not put in, where the reason has been. So that cross-check was done. Due to cross-check, things have improved. Now, second part is impact of technology. Now, I'll come to the secondary part of it. See, we know that in India, the economics is not that strong among students who come from all various backgrounds, who come to our place and study. There are, in our college, we have got around 3,500 students in 4 years of engineering. We see people come from various backgrounds, economic backgrounds. There could be an impact that initially students never had an even smartphone also. Now, also there's difficulties that 10% students will always face internet issues, even if they are 4G, even if they're connected very well. Due to some climatic conditions, there are issues and conditions which happen such that the issues will always be there. But then there has to be some trade-off between understanding a system and student support, so that if we can give a student support when the situation is very technically, critically very clear, and students are requesting for support, they should be given support. And the change in shift of technology, like today, we can understand, even in pandemic also, the reports that have come from NASCOM and everywhere, Gartner report also said that majority procurement people are looking in for like purchase of laptop, purchase of modem, purchase of Wi-Fi connection, and a purchase of lease lines, etc. are the desktop, laptops, mobile phones are the major electronic hardware consumers where the market has boomed. People with a lot of difficulty have somehow economically managed to procure them, connect them. So they have to be in pace with the technological shift. So exams are conducted at a very high level. And there are few exams you have seen that the polls are also asked in the middle. Some 3-4 polls are asked to just check the presence of students who are there in the exam or not, other than exam questions. This also we have observed in many exams. Even institutes like IITs, NITs also, we discuss with those professors also. We also come to an understanding that students there also who are not in campus, away from campus, are also facing such critical difficulties of what is called as the technicality issues, but then they have coped up. So there is a drastic shift from last year, March, since pandemic has entered in India with the great force, and therefore people have started getting accustomed to it, and getting a shift in the understanding of as the technological movement is happening for conduct of exams. So all the exams that are conducted are taken a lot of precautions, and each student is made a lot alert that if he or she is caught while copying an exam, what will be the consequences, and then there is no secondary chance given to students. It's only one chance given. So a list of notaries made and told to students what and all things they have to be ready with, and those noting points that note what they write before the start of exams. After that, note also has become very drastically shifted, very detailed it has become now since last 3-4 exams. Because as we progressed as faculty members, we also experienced where loopholes were there, how loopholes have to be covered, and how the loopholes have to be covered, mitigated in the very subsequent next exam, whether it is internal exam or end exam, and understanding students' mentality also, because there are few set of students who always are in a position to, without studying, looking for copying here and there, are been alerted many times, and therefore they have been told that they have to focus on what is called as the quality of the writing exam, and therefore they are much said that what is asked has to be written very, very clearly. Second part was we have experienced was that when the exams are written and when the papers are uploaded, there are places where students upload paper in Google Classroom, and there are some shabby images are sent, which is due to hurry because deadline are been told, and therefore due to network connections, things are changing accordingly. So this is how we have tried to mitigate it in last 3-4 exams, to see that how when student size increases, we have to understand that the quality of the complete conduct of exam also should take place. Now we have observed that hardly 1 or 2 students face difficulty in set of 70 students, but then they somehow mitigate and manage to submit their answer papers in time, and therefore the assessment also is done in maximum 3 to 4 days from the day the students submit, and the mark sheet are submitted to the controller of examination, and therefore this for subsequent gadget preparing and all is taken at the exam section level. The other issues that we have encountered is about the mentality of students which change as exams changes. Like few times we give MCQs, few times we do not give MCQs, multiple choice questions. Then there is a puzzle among students ki how to solve the answers, how to write answers, because those who study will naturally write. But then what we have thought is that to avoid the copying part and to have genuinity of the quality of answers to be written by students, we thought to have a Gaussian function, a bell-shaped curve, wherein we thought that like in a bell-shaped curve, we like at the center of the bell will like put a level 0. On the left side of the 0 we'll have -1 level and -2 level. On the right side of the curve we have got +1 level and +2 level. 5 levels we have created, and number of questions asked in exams, that is MCQ or theory exams, we are thinking to put questions as per Bloom. I think everyone knows about Bloom's taxonomy. This exam conduct, and therefore RBT, reverse Bloom's taxonomy, and COPO levels. I think everyone knows now. It's aware everywhere in all exams. So when we conduct exams, when we prepare questions, we prepare questions by the faculty in such a way that there are questions like of type -2 level, of like type remember category, like very elementary. Define this, state this, what is the full form of this, write the definition of this, like something of that kind. When we go to -1 level, we see that we apply in Bloom's taxonomy pyramid, remember and understand category. So that the questions are like a very simple mathematical equation is given, like F is equal to m into a, force is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass is given, acceleration is given, asked to calculate force. Like that, a simple formula, which is very elementary. There are some questions which are like of type 0 level in the center of the bell-shaped curve. There are some questions which are like +1 level and +2 level. As the levels increase from -2 to +2, we see the difficulty of questions also arise. We see that those students who are very sincere, attending the lectures, attending the content, understanding what faculty is delivering, what asked when it's asked in exam, how to write, what to write for that question, is explained in +2 level and +1 level. Those students who are very sincere, very regular, know the academic content very, very well, know the twists and turns of the subject very well, will be in a position to write a +2 kind of questions. Because the idea is that when you assess the papers of all students of, say, class of 70, we should see that the flat marks should not be received by all students. This is the culture that we have been seeing in many autonomous colleges or in many of the colleges, many institutes. The assessment, when it is done, you see that there is a flat marking has been seen. There's not much variation in the range of marks that has been observed. A moderate student also is getting same marks as a topper student. A mediocre student or an average student, a low average student is also getting a marks as a mediocre student. There is no distinguishment of the clarity in the marks that has been attained by students. So we can't judge the quality of student. So this is the reason we have to have a segregation of question quality as per the CO level and the revised Bloom's taxonomy level, so that the judgment of answering a question is only done by students who have prepared the answers for all the questions of all the academic syllabus. And
last 2 minutes, sir.
Yeah. So when the bifurcation is very, very clear in 5 levels, we can see that the marking is very, very clear. So in that, all the malpractices done by students will also automatically come out. Those who have prepared well will do well. Accordingly, things will be automatically, the marks will speak about how many questions they have answered, what type of questions they have answered, quality of questions they have answered. So bell-shaped curve is the standard format that we are following to have 5 levels in the bell-shaped curve. So to understand all the Bloom's taxonomy 6 levels which are there, like remember, understand, apply, analyze, create, evaluate, and create. So these 6 levels we put in for 6 levels questions when we prepare with all course outcomes of the course is mapped accordingly, and then for the paper is set so that the quality of the paper is judged to be designed so that when any student answer, because the clarity is then there is no flat marking is there. That is what is the analogy as an outcome summary I want to tell. This is what we want to put in so that the quality of students is maintained. When they graduate, they should know what is their understanding when they come out of it, the immediate graduation, after graduation. So this is what in a nutshell I want to tell, sir, about the impact of technology, how students face, what are we as faculty doing from our end, from selecting a technology from the starting, since pandemic started, how did the online technologies moved further ahead, what and all we are doing at our institute. I just explained the ways students have been at remote places, how they have mitigated to meet us in terms of technology requirements, network requirements, etc. And therefore, what are we doing to maintain quality of exam conduct from our level so that malpractices are minimal and students who are fair enough to get fair marks as per their requirement are getting as per their understanding of technicality.
Thank you, sir. It was an amazing inaugural session. Given a wonderful talk. How digital or rather information and communication technology the perspectives is being viewed by the administrators, faculties, students, how we could be able to minimize the unfair practices by the students, what are the operational strategies, including the statistics. It's a very amazing that you got Bloom's taxonomy into it and the statistics with the bell curve, which has set a right tone for the other speakers to take it up and speak in furthermore in engaging this particular session. So having said this, I would like to invite our next guest speaker, Dr.
Thanks.
Sundar Prakash Balaji. In short, people call him as SPB. Ain't it so? It sounds good that SPB, who is very much aware, who are aware about the heartthrob of all singing things and all. So we have a very similar kind of a person. His name is Dr. M. Sundar Prakash Balaji, acronymed as SPB, and he has received a doctorate in Faculty of Information and Communication Engineering from Anna University, Chennai. So he also received a master's degree from Applied Electronics, again from the Anna University, way back in 2005. He has obtained UG degree in Electronics Communication from the College of Engineering, Guindy in 1993, way back. Hopefully that I was joining engineering then. So his research area includes VLSI design, artificial intelligence, and digital signal processing, etc. So he has published papers in reputed journals like in Springer's, Elsevier, etc. And also been into this very several. He's been keen interest in going for conferences, especially several national as well as IEEE conferences. He has got a very high index value of high index value for his two research papers. So he has 17 years of experience in teaching and 9 years in industrial experience, and he's also currently working as a professor at RVS College of Engineering and Technology in Coimbatore. So he is serving as a peer reviewer for many of the Scoopers, Springer based journals and IOP publishing groups. So he has received an outstanding Professor of the Year in the March 2021. So he's also a life member of ISTE and professional member of IEEE and ACM. So with this credentials backing up for the Dr. SCB, I request him to put some note on information and technology communication, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Raghavendra Venugopal. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir. You are very much audible for the audience.
I will share my screen.
I may give you the rights to.
You can share your screen, sir. You are the host.
So is the screen visible?
Absolutely visible, sir. Don't worry. You could carry on, sir.
Yeah. So first of all, I thank the organizing committee of IDEA 2021 for providing me this opportunity to share my views on ICT, information and communication technology, a Boon of Bane. So right now in this digital era, so from the analog era, in the third industrial revolution itself, we have moved from analog era to digital transformation, and right with the advent of internet, so many technologies have come across, and it is much more useful in this pandemic of students attending online classes all over the world. Next slide. As information and communication technology, advanced technology, it is a mode of education using technology. So technology means includes compared with conventional education, it uses instead of the green board or a blackboard in the classroom. So there's an interactive board along with laptops or personal computers, smart TVs, higher-end audio systems, and with the internet. So it enhances the teaching and learning performance of the students, and worldwide research also says compared with the conventional teaching methodology, this ICT is more flexible in the sense right now when I was born, buying a single computer is a Herculean task, but as of right now, everyone is using a computer. Even small children are more exposed to systems, cell phones and smartphones, and they have more knowledge in operating them compared to the adults. So ICT has got its both advantages and disadvantages. First, I will share the advantages. So in the normal education, when I studied, we used to refer, buy textbooks from the store and or go to the library and refer information. At the time, internet was just gaining its popularity. Yeah? But nowadays it has grown so much. So there are a lot of ebooks that is available in the internet, where a student can go and easily download the ebooks rather than studying the printed copies, and he can self-learn from recorded video lectures like YouTube, NPTEL session. So in which the participation level of the students are more. So compared with the traditional classroom, the students may be diverted. Some of the students, I am not telling all the students, some of the students may be physically present in the class and mentally maybe somewhere else. But while using ICT, it makes the technology makes the student more easily adapted to the learning process. So instead of writing on the board, if the teachers present the material visually, so that will be more helpful for the student to observe it and recall. So it improves collaborative learning. So what is collaborative learning is learning as a peer group. So the students can form group within themselves. They can interact their ideas within themselves. They can interact with the teachers, and they can even form collaborative groups with other learning communities all over the world, and they can exchange their ideas and get new and innovative ideas on a particular topic. So whatever topic they want to learn, suppose they search in Google, so it is available everywhere, and it is very clearly explained in Wikipedia. Just what is what about the history, how it evolved, in any topic. They can easily search in Google the advantages, disadvantages, and diagrammatic illustrations, representations, all are. So this kind of information, advanced information exchanges, they can form a group mail so that they can share it to the students within the classroom. So nowadays WhatsApp is becoming popular for the past 5 or 6 years in India. So almost all the schools and colleges are forming WhatsApp group and exchanging the official information about the subject, about the examinations. So it replaces the conventional education. Like suppose a circular has to be forwarded to 100 people. So it takes an enormous amount of time. But with the advancement of technology, e-circulars or online circulars, which are circulated within a campus or within an educational institution through their intranet. So, and this ICT reduces the pen and paper work rather than the students taking notes in a notebook with a pen and paper. So they can easily browse it using their smartphones or laptops or individual desktops, so that it saves the time of the students in searching for a textbook, and that textbook may be available or may not be available in the market. Even last year, I went to a bookshop and I was searching for a book for which I am going to teach for that semester. And I was told actually new books are not coming because the pandemic is indefinite. So I went to a old bookshop and I was searching for the textbooks, and I found most difficult to buy a textbook. So in that case, I downloaded an e-copy of the same book after coming home. So in fact, ICT provides a advantage. So the major components of ICT are the hardware used and manufactured. It has to be manufactured, and the communication technology and the data. And the data will be stored in the form of files, and the data can be accessed using internet. So that internet, for that Wi-Fi connectivity has to be there. And suppose if that data always, I used to have a habit of storing whatever notes or assignments or tests I give it to the students, store it a copy in my personal mail ID. For example, I'm using a Gmail ID. So all the data, Gmail means it will store in the Google's cloud, and a software, while using ICT in the classroom, when the teachers interact with the.
So I may request you to be quick because you have the last 3 minutes in your hand, sir.
Okay. They have to interact with the software, and these are the components. See, this is an interactive board, large scale TV, internet, high-end computing systems, high quality audio systems, and a projector used. So the ICT improves the cognitive level, the thinking level of the students. It enhances the interaction and among the students and the teachers, and the student motivation level is also increased. But there are limitations. Since it's expensive, a simple digital marker or a digital board, it costs minimum 25,000 rupees. But on the practical difficulties during this online teaching, the students and the teachers have to be trained in using the boards, and students also, while if the teachers assigns a seminar, they have to learn how to use a digital mode. And one more thing is with the advent of technology, the firewalls has to be present to restrict the usage of unauthorized sites. And M-learning, mobile learning has encouraged developed countries, but in India, so it is a health hazardous issues. Looking long term for a laptop or in a mobile or a laptop, but it's very expensive. And right now, IT companies, so our work from home packages have come, but it is unavoidable during this pandemic, and it's a good practice to avoid gadgets, because that's the concept of digital detoxification. So where every human being gets tired or get eye pain after some time. So I was told by my doctor to go for a walk once in every hour and wink the eyes. And so ICT has its own advantages and limitations. The limitations are the technology difficulties. Since it's expensive, everyone cannot afford, but we are in a situation, and nowadays, even most of the schools and colleges have adopted to the ICT. The technology difficulties faced by the students was connectivity to the internet. So they requested for additional classes or to reduce the syllabus. And during the online examination also, some of the students face network connectivity issues. So for them, re-examinations were conducted. So these were the implementation issues in implementing the ICT. So I can say it is the combination of both Boon and Bane using ICT. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. SVB, sir. It was in a very good narrative. The president set by Dr. Rajesh to you. He discussed about the platform and usage of the ICT softwares, and you spoke about, the other part. In fact, how to use Google and informations from Google as well as the Wikipedia and the peripherals available in the market for the students for the beneficial of their academics. And I'm also very much happy that you spoke about the implementations issues, which is a subject of discussion by large. Having said this, once again, I thank you, Dr. SVB, sir. We have a very versatile academician lined up for as a third speaker, Dr. K. Srinivasan, sir. Good morning and welcome to the IDEA 2021.
Good morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, need to say about Dr. Srinivas that he works with the clients from a variety of industry sectors and has got around more than 20 years of experience in various management assignments. He's a mentor for MBA students, delivering high-impact guest lectures and leading management institutions in India, and is a regular facilitator at promotional events. In working with corporates, his experience lies not only in supporting, identifying in the right future life goals, but also practically achieving these goals. So, the person who always believed by management by objectives is what I understand, sir. He's a very demonstrated, having a very demonstrated track record, gained a marketplace in the management assignments. He is Dr. Srinivasan, a unique understanding in marketing conditions. I'm pretty sure that the students would have been benefited with this kind of a USP that you have. In his earlier career, Dr. Srinivasan has operated as a CEO in service sector. He is currently a vice principal of a leading management institution in Mysore, Cresta School of Management, Arts and Science. So he has been into the social services from past 20 years. He is a part of Rotary Foundation and he believes in returning what he has earned for the betterment of society. He was the president for the year 2014-15 as a part of various positions in Rotary Bangalore, Ramurthy Nagar. He is also trustee of Anjali Trust, Indo-German Schools and founder chairman of Gayatri Foundation. He has also conducted various social activities through BPAC, Bangalore Political Action Committee, the founder of BPAC, BCLIP, Alumni Association to ensure the continuity to serve the society. So having I said that he is already a versatile academician, I'm pretty sure that his contribution for both students community as well as society is too big. I'll short myself because we have to hear a lot from him. Over to you, Dr. Srinivasan, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful introduction. I would like to take you wherever I travel to give this introduction. It was very wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. Having said, last two speakers spoke about quite interesting about the ICT boon, which is transform the world in a bigger way, right? So let's take one step forward. Today's economy is growing steadily, right? It's in information. It is all about informational activities, information intensive. What we can call it's an information society as a whole, right? Future generally lies with high dependency of data, information, and knowledge. That's the future right now. The only option what students, teacher, or the faculty you can do is to keep up the chain reaction alive. Just speed, innovate with time. Nothing else will help. Yes, the speaker spoke about the Zoom platform or the Google Meet or the Google Classroom platform, and we come up with the 80-20 formula where we give MCQ for the students. But of course, there is a divide between the digital divide, what I can call, between the affordable and the can't afford group. So this ICT has created and designed to fill the gap between the people who can afford, the socio-economic people who are socio-economic advantage and disadvantaged people. So this divide, the digital divide, as was earlier there, now it is not. Like, it divides the religion, country, society as a whole. It was all divided earlier. Now it just been together as onliners. And you can see the growth of onliners being steadily growing in the past few years because of the pandemic and other issues. and the non-onliners dipping drastically. What are the implications? Let's talk about little implication on this ITC's acceleration. So information and communication technology has accelerated to such an extent that without this technology, the doors to the new way of learning is not there. So the technology has opened doors to the new way of learning. What do I mean by saying that the doors is open for the new way of learning? Students are getting richer educational experience, right? It is also individually tailored learning. Socially inclusive society can be participating in this. Of course, a lot of appropriate technology has been used for all the children. And the technology is being used because of the pandemic. There were students who are not attending classes for various reasons, because these technologies have helped them to still be part of the classroom without going away from the classroom, right? If you take the example of internet information and communication technology, which is grown beyond limit. Take an example, Germany. Germany is 100% companies have used, if you take up the company part of it, 100% companies use internet access. About 92% have their own websites. And how this is possible? Because the education, the information and communication technology has improved so much. The students are well aware of what it is. Coming to the education in Germany, just taking some examples of it. Schools are 100% equipped with ICT in teaching and learning. All courses, technology, all courses are all online. It does not represent education. Technology, of course, has reached the masses to such an extent. Without technology, they cannot move forward. Consider Australian university. They talk about examination online, classes online, convenience learning. What I mean by convenience learning is they give you the option of learning at your convenience. It's not necessary that you should attend the live classes when the classes are going on. There are a lot of working individuals who are wanting to take up the higher education. They are able to do it just because of the ICT. They are able to take the education part as per the convenience. Today, if we take India, ICT is being used in school administration in all levels. Of course, it has not been to the, it's in the experimental stage only. India being 138 crore population, it's in the experimental stage. But implementation of this teaching process is lagging behind. But once it's taken up, it has to be taken up, and it will be the world future. It will be the future, and it cannot change. That will be the future. With regards to students, consider students. This information and communication technology makes high demand on students. Parents, for that matter, parents as a stakeholder need to cope up with the technology to support children to become the media competent. And faculties or teachers, I can say, they have the potential to improve individual teaching to the core, right? To increase the diversity of teaching part. Educational institutions are supporting or slowly adapting to the changes which is there. But of course, education field provide appropriate and timely support, does not give the feel of appropriate and timely support. But if the education field supports with the resources and practical experience in using ICT, nothing like that. Things can boom in a very big way. The boom has been there in ICT sector for a very long time. In fact, the boom was to such extent that this boom was there for a very long time, and just that the education did not come into the picture at this point of time. Digital era was there, news broadcast, ticketing machines, everything was there earlier. ICT market was currently very volatile, dynamic, and innovative arena, right? We have been testing this ITC era for education industry. New devices, new interactive paradigms have come in, new areas have come in, which has been penetrated. This creates a chance for the students. In fact, as the earlier speaker was mentioning, students are able to attend classes with their mobiles in the remote part of the world. Yes, it is not remote. I mean, remote part of the world. Anywhere the ICT can help to complete your course, and especially mobile devices and smartphones, smart glasses, wearables, invisible devices. It's all integrated. And e-learning technology is going to be proactively sophisticated moving forward. It's not going to be just learning. It is going to be e-learning age. Proactive effort, innovations, personalizations. It will be all be personalized. It will be friendlier. It's not going to be a one-off situation where you sit inside the class and listen to one-sided lecture. No, it's going to be friendlier. It diminishes the technological barrier. It will be very accessible, flexible. You take care of any activities in the classroom. It is just going to be flexible in whatever you're doing, and the knowledge sharing is the key to what you're doing right now. As an e-learning stage, of course, due to this e-learning, there'll be competency. A competency level will increase. Knowledge level will increase, because the time, the place, the pace that is suitable for the candidate is available now. It was not. Accessibility to the high quality content is available any point of time because of this ICT. Access to high quality content is available. This actually provides the expertise. This ICT also provides expertise to create and integrate the curriculum, the contents of the curriculum. And faculty have the option of integrating the contents by using this technology and getting the information from worldwide. It can provide worldwide student-teacher interaction, right? To student-tutor interaction. It can provide the interaction between anywhere, any part of the world. You don't have to just look at what is, again, at a very reduced cost. I'm talking about the cost in terms of finance, cost in terms of time. It's because you're going to stay and work in the place where you want to work, right? A learning management system, which is again gone beyond, one step beyond what we expected to go. Learning management system. These systems have ensured that open and distant learning as is a reach for all the people. One of the rapidly growing field of education, learning management system, right? Open and distance education, open and distance learning. For example, if we take some of the universities abroad, you do not have to attend the classes and attend certain subjects in the semester at all. You can study the way you want. You can study whichever subject you want to study and feel comfortable in your daily habit of learning. You can learn and then clear the examination without even considering that you need to write the exact time of examination and you'll have to take the examination on particular time. No, you can learn the time you want to. You can write exam as and when you want to and submit the answer sheets. And this is the advantage the learning information system or the ICT has helped the future to move forward, right? It opened doors for widening access to education. It has completely opened those access to education. As I said, collaborative learning, interactive learning, e-learning centered approach for teaching. Teaching has also completely changed. A problem-based learning is completely, it has opened doors for problem-based learning. Earlier, the learning process was only teacher to students. It was instructional learning, what we call it. Instructions were given in the classroom. Now it is not instructional. It is constructional learning. Students come out with the constructional activities. They discover a lot of things with the activities, what we do. From the teacher-centered to the learner-centered education is what is happening because of ICT. There is no more, it is learner-centered education. Students are open to the World Wide Web, which connects, and it's not like one size fits all. Earlier it was one size fits all. Now it is not one size fits all. It's called custom-made learning. From learning as a routine to learning as fun. It has changed the world entirely. From learning process is completely changed. All right. So examinations. Examination used to be a pen and paper examination. Now it is MCQs. 80-20 pattern has completely changed again. How it can improve in future? It can improve the way it supports. Just earlier to me, there was a faculty who was a speaker who was talking about in his days there was no system and he was finding difficult to get the books from the library. And that was a time when we were scoring only 80% of marks. Today, you can see the students scoring about 99%, 99 out of 100. That is all they wanted in this present scenario, right? And future is going to be e-learning platform, students, faculties, the tutors, the families, everybody needs to adopt to the situation of e-learning platforms. And this is anyway built in a friendly way, easy to use and with the robust technology. And it will be motivating for learners, support information for all the age and the future generation of e-learners, that transfers all the acquired knowledge into proactive way of learning, right? So let's all collaborate in the e-learning platform moving forward. And I take this opportunity to thank the organizer for giving this opportunity for me to talk about the collaborative learning, where the mobile, the classroom, the social circle, everything is connected, interlinked with the learning process. And let's learn the way it has to be learned. The future of learning is e-learning, right? Thank you very much for giving this opportunity for taking this session online. Thank you.
Thank you, Srinivasan sir. It was pleasure, listening to your words. In fact, your profile speaks the way that you have spoken, sir. Given a lot of emphasis on e-learning, constructive learning, and just now, you try to remind us from the industry 1.0 to industry 4.0, from mass production to customized production, in a way that you also given a lot of insight from the mass teaching to the customized teaching. And we also privileged that people like you are around us in the society with such kind of valuables instruction. Our student faculty, student community will definitely going to yield a lot. So having said this, thank you for joining with us for the COE India and IDEA 2021, sir. We call up upon the next resource person, a friend of mine, Professor Yogesh Mahadevaya, a very dynamic person. In fact, I know him from more than a decade. But that should not be, the informal introduction. He comes with a lot of credentials. So Mr. Yogesh is an electrical engineer by qualification and MTech in electricals, and he's also a member in MIST for technical education, working with Ion Idea, Virginia, USA. So his qualities are something different, which I have to say that he trained university administrators, teachers by a lot. Especially on the basis of outcome-based educations, competency-based educations, and he's also subject matter expertise on OBE, certified from various accreditation on OBEs, and he also tries to give the educational solutions. Trainers, he's a trainer person who develops innovative softwares, hardware products, especially with the concern to the academic world. His accomplishments are very unique, though I don't know how he has jumped to become a trainer. He's actually author of an electrical book, and he's been widely published and been endorsed by Government of Karnataka for the diploma students. That is for the polytechnic students. But I don't know why that he left academic world and joined for the academic support world. But having said this, I'm very happy to Yogesh that he has been accepted with us that he's going to join us for IDEA 2021 to deliver his thoughts on information and communication technology. I invite him on behalf of COE India and SkillSlate India. Yogesh, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Raghavendran, sir. Very good morning to honorable members of Council of Examiners, esteemed academicians, and all my dear friends. It's a great privilege and honor for me to be a part of this conference and share my views, experience, and thoughts on ICT, a boon or bane to the educational sector. While answering the Professor Raghavendran sir's question that why did I move from academics to a support wala thing? Yes. Me as an academician and a controller of examinations, the pains whatever we underwent during our tenure, I wanted to automate all those particular things. So through which that is how I went on to a corporate sector. That is our organization, Ion Idea, a multinational company providing educational solutions to more than 100+ clients across the nation, Malaysia, and as well as Turkey. Well, with a decade of experience, I've always been keen to automate academic and examination activities. ICT is a boon for us. That live example is that this particular platform of IDEA 2021 has brought in all the academicians and examinations people together, wherein they can share their views, learn, and as well as implement new aids to reduce the burden. Everything or every aspect in life has a boon and as well as a bane, but it is always better to consider a boon and then try to overcome those banes. I would share my thought of ICT as a boon with regard to TLP, with regard to examinations and assessments, and with regard to the educators and reducing their burden. Without ICT, the today's technological world is up. I mean to say, it will completely become obsolete. In the traditional method of teaching, it was just a curriculum-oriented teaching, wherein it was a traditional system. So what it was a teacher-centric learning, where whatever the teacher used to teach, the students had to follow that. With my predecessor, Dr. K. Srinivasan sir was emphasizing that now it is student-centric learning. That is the aspect of outcome-based education, wherein now the theme has completely changed. And in order to showcase what exactly is your institutional capability and how well are you performing and what is your academic excellence, so the trend of OBE has started. And even with the yesterday's session, there were quite a lot of experts who shared their views on outcome-based education and something. Now, teaching becomes more effective and impressive with the something called as implementation of ICTs, whether it might be your projectors or whatsoever, and even software-based tools. Now, as Dr. Srinivas also was emphasizing, in Australia, it is something called as comprehensive learning or something, and even learning management system. For a teaching learning program, this is very, very essential, because this will allow the students to learn at his own pace. And even we at iNidea, we have a versatile OB enabled LMS, wherein it will help the students to learn at their own pace. What I mean by this is that, say for example, not all the students would be of the same thoughts or of the same capability. They would differ based upon their particular grasping ability. So there would be someone called as slow learners, and there are also concepts which would be very difficult for a student to understand at a one single sitting or something. So, but when you have a versatile learning management system, there might be recorded video sessions of the lectures and everything, so that the student would play it on again and again and understand, and then understand the topic to the core level. This would contribute to a very greater learning understanding by the student. And we at iNidea, we have been continuously working to make this educational domain automated and to see the results. And when we have something called as outcome-based education integrated with the learning management system, right from your course outcome and the objective, what a faculty needs to achieve, all these particular things gets linked to the learning management system. And even the learner tracking of the entire student progress is also available, so that we'll be able to retune, the educator or the teacher will be able to retune himself, like where is the lacuna, what is he supposed to do, how is he supposed to do, and how better can he perform using this particular technology aids and everything. And also the more education becomes more interactive, as well as, and even the grasping ability of the students also will be enhanced when they start using ICT tools for the TLP program, and it becomes quite attractive rather than a person telling to showing something, the realistic models and how it is happening and everything. Yes, in that way, learning management system would contribute greatly towards the TLP program, and that is obviously a boon for the educational sector with regard to TLP. Then going ahead with assessment and examination. Well, the last 1.5 years have taught all educators and the institutions to cope up with technology and adopt ICT methods to assess the students and everything. So in assessment, it is like there are various methods to assess the student. Even in the inaugural session, our very own Vice Chancellor of Bennett University, Honorable Sir, was telling us about they have something called as open book examinations and everything. But yes, in that particular sense, we have many sorts of ways to conduct examination, but not just MCQs or something, even written examinations also, theory-based examinations also is very, very important. In this particular arena, in order to suit the institutions and to cater to them, we came out with a very innovative examination system, so that it would not disturb the traditional practice of your examination, wherein it is like the student should appear right on a paper or something, and moreover, rather than typing the answers or something, because although we are moving ahead with technology, but many of the non-conventional students would find it very difficult to or not have this typing speed or something. So in order to address this and to see that the existing practice of examination is not disturbed, we also came up with a unique remote examination solution, wherein it is like the student would sit at the comfy of his house and everything, and he would appear for the examination, and the paper, the assessment paper would get evaluated through the digital valuation system and everything, so that if all the activities would happen completely remotely, and that would pave way for a complete social distancing and assuring complete safety for all the stakeholders involved in the process of education and examination. So yesterday, even many my predecessors when like Dr. Joshi sir, Dr. Bhatt sir were indicated that we'll have to go ahead with the new normal. That is, we'll have to embrace the technology even after this particular pandemic. At this particular situation, this would definitely contribute to a larger technological growth and advancement in the nation. And apart from this, it was like it would save a lot of time, effort, as well as resources in terms of conducting assessments with regard to the educational institutions also. And then that is how ICTs are more reliable and applicable for examination and assessment. And lastly, but not the least, teachers are the main warriors for the entire nation. And if an engineer fails, we might have a broken bridge. If a doctor fails, we might the patient might fail. But if a teacher fails, it is the nation which would fail. The complete GDP of the nation, everything depends upon the teachers. And we as teachers will have to see that we will have to encourage the students and to make them follow ethical practices and everything. So with regard to this last note, but not the least, ICT is also very, very essential for educators. Assessment, it is not just for students. It is mainly, the times have changed and assessments have direct impact on the teachers. If a student is not faring well, the result analysis that would affect the teacher. And if a student is underperforming, all those particular things, we will have to assess all those particular things and then see that the student fares well. For this particular thing to implement all these particular things, our requirement of a software aid or a software tool is very, very essential, so that it reduces this particular manual work of non-effort of the faculty and paves way for a complete automation. And even in a manual work or something, it might be prone to errors, but a software based tool or technological aid would definitely pave in for something like complete accuracy and paves way to improve your complete educational system. ICT is always a boon for the educational institution and for the educators as well as for the students. Only thing is, it is how you receive it all is the thing. And there might be banes, but it is like it is always a boon rather than a bane. So this is what I wanted to share my experience and thoughts. And me as a controller of examinations with 2 major universities, I have gone through all these particular phases, and I wanted to automate that. Manual work and without using any technological aid is completely obsolete. So ICT is very much essential in the educational sector, and this would revolutionize the entire teaching and the non-teaching fraternity. With this words, I would hand it over to Professor Raghavendran sir. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my views and thoughts. Well, down the line in the sponsored session today, we would be very eager to showcase our solutions and our achievements, what we have done with regard to automation of your the complete academic systems as per the ACT examination reforms. Well, thank you, and over to you, Raghavendran sir.
Well, thank you, Yogesh, for giving a very beautiful insight. The quote which you try to express it: if a teacher fails, the entire nation fails. Isn't it, audience, that if a teacher fails, the entire nation, in fact, the entire generation fails? Well, having considering that, we as a teacher will have to commit ourselves that we will uplift and upgrade ourselves first, and so that the coming generations will not going to fail. So perhaps Yogesh, I have only one word from on behalf of the entire audience. Many institutions, many faculties, many teachers would love to implement the softwares of academics, but the investment is actually a biggest problem. I hope your softwares probably might lead to the very cheapest, or rather can able to reach out the poorest of the poor. I'm very happy that we could able to get connected, but I'm not asking an answer right away. you could have it at your own sponsored sessions.
Yeah.
So with this, I would love to call upon my next speaker, who is very flamboyant person, Dr. Pawan Vig. Welcome to you, sir, on the board.
Good
Well,
morning.
ladies and gentlemen, we have a very unique and very distinguished academician with us. He is a Dean Research at Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies, and he has completed Electronics and Communication Engineering in 2005. After successfully completed, he also pursued a MTech in VLSI, very large scale semiconductors, if I'm right. I'm not sure about what VLSI speaks all about. Well, he has completed MTech, and he has also awarded doctorate from Jamia Millia Islamia, for his contributions on electronics and communication. He has been working with the field of electronics and communication from past 21 years. My goodness, we are very, very short in when I compare my experience with him. He's also my editor and a reviewer for very several international graphite journals. My pleasure, sir. So he's in designing and mentoring very several projects of universities across India. He's also a member of International Association of Engineers, Hong Kong, ISTE, IEEE, SCI, IEI, and the State Student Coordinator of Rajasthan of Computer Science of India. So he has published a lot of scientific and technical articles, which has got more than 18 national, international. My goodness, sir, I have to learn how to write the art of research papers from your end. He has got a wide area of research amongst the analog signal processing, sensor modeling, water quality monitoring, applications, and simulation design. He has invented low power water quality monitoring devices, which is under a patent process. My best wishes to you, sir. He has proposed a SPICE model for novel photocatalytic sensor, PCS, which can be an area of interest for the new researchers in the same field. I might have a very limited knowledge about what this is all about, but definitely I would like to know from you in the other session. But having said this, a lot of audience are looking forward how to use the ICT. Is it a Boon or a Bane or both in combination? Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thanks IDEA to 2021 to give me an opportunity to share my views on ICT as a Boon or Bane. Although I am a research-oriented, person, let me share my screen first of all with you. Is it my screen get shared? Hello.
Yes, sir. It is.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the information. Basically, this is again a mode of checking the information whether we are doing correct or not. So let us start with the information and communication technology, Boon or Bane. Although the speakers before me they speak a lot on information and technology or Boon or its Bane, and I also made these slides on the same track. But here I would like to change my orientation regarding the research. How we can implement the research in this ICT. So first of all, let us start with the quote that picture has a worth of several words. This is a wonderful quote. It means if you show a picture to somebody, they can understand it in a better way, or they can understand the several words through the single picture. So the meaning itself clears that if in a same picture, if you add some motion or you add some some interactive way, that picture is enabled to talk with you with an application of technologies like artificial intelligence, IoT, machine learning. There are so many technologies now right away. So if we somehow we put some sort of motion or some sort of interactive media with that picture, that will become that is again research already did, which says that we have an impact on our mind when we see something which is like a movie. Many times when we saw a movie, it has a different impact on our mind, and it lasts long. Many times when we ask our student that you you learn the dialogues that is in the picture, but you are not able to grasp whatsoever written in the book. So there is an research, and that research says we have 90% of the impact of whatsoever we saw, we see, or we feel, or we talk about. So if we like in a movie, there is a clear visualization, we have a video, we have a audio, we have a feeling. So it has a different impact and on our mind. Or if we just go through a book or go through a static picture, it will have little impact on our mind, say 60% or 40%. So this how this ICT enables this kind of way where you can see, feel, as well as you can feel the theme of that particular thing. But again, it's boon or bane depends upon how the peoples are taking it. Like in today's scenario, this is a COVID scenario. The last 1.5 years is very bad. In there, that bad period also told us very good things, very good things, like ICT is one of that. Because earlier ICT is not new. It is the information communication is it is from 80s. But nowadays, it is when we implemented it in the real life, we understand its boon or bane exactly. Like when we are doing the lectures, or the teachers are giving the lectures, most of the students, those who are they are bunking the classes earlier as a physical mode. Now how they are bunking here? Very simple. They just play just join the meeting, and they left and doing their own work. And if we are saying just open your video also, then also there is a chance they can put their image, and you can see, you can feel, yes, somebody is sitting there, until or unless you interact with them. So this is just kind of bane of this ICT. So as one of the speakers says, if we are talking about the real scenario, so there are so many mechanisms of assessment. But the reality is, as you secure the things, the students, they are try to dissolve that things, try to crack that particular security. That how many security you put it, they will get it done by some other means. So what is the exact way of taking an exam? Because assessment is okay. Assessment you can do by plotting a pyramid or by plotting a Gaussian plot, everything that is okay. But the real question stands, how you are preparing the exam. Because in outcome-based education, the open book, since it is an open book, then what is the point in you open your camera if it is an open book, and you are doing it like 2 days before there is a news regarding an SOL exam of DU, Delhi University. They found there are several Telegram groups and WhatsApp groups there where their students are sharing the answers to that questions. But this is again comes into the vein of this ICT, because ICT created these all WhatsApp group, Telegrams groups, communication medias, which. So my point of summation is over here is, the sincerity also, or the way how you use that technology is matter also. It is not only to, just create the things, but also you have to see how to, prepare yourself to go to that, but to use that particular technology. So let's quickly, I'll go through my slides because I prepared it for particularly for this session. So let's not waste it. Let's move forward and cover this slides very quickly. So first of all, I would like to put the point what exactly the ICT means, because without understanding the meaning of a particular theme, how you can use it. So ICT is an acronym of information and communication technology. This is known by everybody. The set of technologies developed to manage information and send it from one place to another. This is again a very easy. They cover a wide range of solutions. They include technologies to store information and retrieve it later. One of the speaker earlier speak about this, that this is through the ICT, you can not only deliver it, but you can, share it, you can store it for the future use, and might be by again and again repeating or that particular thing, you can understand it better. So, and also send and receive information from one side to another, or else process information to calculate results and prepare reports. This is what about ICT exactly is. Now, what is the history? Let's go back to the history. First of all, understand from where it started, communication started. The story shows how a unique system that uses torches on a distance tower, I think everybody knows how the communication started, allowed as far as 300 ADs. But it is not until the middle of the last century that shows a real technological advances. Technologies in the transmission of the data with the invention of the telegraph and the telephone. Everybody knows this thing. Together with the creation of the professor mathematics of the University of the Cambridge in 1833, Charles Babbage, of a mechanical device capable of making a chain of calculation. That is what we call the initial computer. So this is and the end of the 20th century in a particular has been marked by a technological convergences until new independent. These convergences experienced by electronic information technology and telecommunication, and it has a greatest exponent in the vertiginous growth advancement by the internet. I'm here. I would like to specifically mention, earlier before 2010. When that era is called from 2000 and 2010, that era is called Internet of People, because that era is called people of internet. Internet of People means very few very few limited people have access to the internet. They have very small number of gadgets, and at that time since the number of peoples are less than the gadgets, that is why that era is called Internet of People. But after that, 2010 or 2008, you may say this era get changed, and this is the this era is called Internet of Things, because now the things overcome the number of peoples. The population, if you see the stats exactly, the number of the peoples are less than the number of devices. The number of devices in the billions nowadays, and the number of population, if you count about, it is less than 10 times the number of the things. So this is what we call Internet of Things. Obviously, the new technologies like virtual reality and artificial intelligence, and one more new upcoming technologies coming on, that is ambience technology. These technologies also a boon to the ICT. And very soon we have a very interactive method like virtual reality. There is no comparison at all to because with the help of that augmentation technology or virtual reality, you can really walk upon a demo like in a medical sector or health sector. The doctors nowadays, they are practicing on a dead bodies, but with the help of this augmented reality or virtual reality, they can have an experience of the simulation to do the things on the real it's a virtual kind of body, but appearing like a real. So this is again a boon to the ICT. So the next one that I made is pros of ICTs, that is providing great benefit and advances in the health and education. Obviously, in education also, when we just read it, how our heart works, in 9th standard or 8th standard, we generally learned in the books how heart works. But if you visualize it, how deoxygenated blood is coming, deoxygenated blood is going out of the heart, and how the blood is coming into the heart. So once you visualize this, you can you have an impact retained in your mind for a long time. This is one of the boom. So develop people and the social actors through the sport and the exchange networks and discussion lists. Sport business people, yes. Business without ICT, I think it is practically next to impossible, because nowadays everything, if we are talking about the marketing, ranging from the marketing to the marketing of the particular things, the all the businesses nowadays, they are using digital marketing, and they are using earlier, we have one or two pair of shoes in our home, but now you see the market, they try to sell you, they bond you to buy 2 or 3 more pairs, just because by making you lucrative deals, giving you a lucrative deals, by showing their images at the different places. Whenever you open your email, whenever you open your Facebook, you saw that images. They try to make you to buy that product. So this is again a boon to the business, business community. And also earlier, when the sellers, they try to showcase their products on their shops, but now they create a good impact, they high resolution images, and try to sell it, send it to your mobile or your social media platform, where you can see and you can buy that product. So cutting short, let's do it fast. Allow interactive learning and distance education. Obviously, distance education earlier, it was we feel that it is not a good. The people, those who are doing the distance learning or distance education, they are not they are not at par with those who are doing the regular mode of studies. But now everybody is doing the same. We are come back to the same track. Distance education, they are using ICT from the long behind, but now it is the world gets shortened, the distance between the students get shortened, and everybody get together very close to each other. As one of the speaker earlier said, the communication media is too close. You can now do a collaborative research or collaborative learning with the professors across the world. I also use to do this thing, because my several students are there in UK, US. We do the collaborative research and publish it. So this is again a boon to ICT. Now distribute new knowledge for the employability. Yes, this is again a pros of ICT. Now let us talk about some cons of ICT, some disadvantages like lack of privacy. This is very important, because once you are coming on ICT, once you are coming on the digital platform, you must have to be aware about how to use it. You must have to be aware about the passwords and everything, how to secure yourself. This is very important. So with ICT, the education is very important. First of all, you have to understand how to use the technology. Second one is isolation. Isolation is also a cons of ICT, because earlier in the class, we are interacted with the students. We can watch them what they are doing, and we corrected them immediately. But here, since it is why I am saying isolation, because you are doing it alone, as sitting in the room, whatsoever you're doing, you just sometimes you are focusing, sometimes you are not focusing. So isolation is one of the cons of ICT. So this is very important. But again, I'm saying you have to be self-disciplined when we are talking about the ICT, rather than in schools we are made disciplined. The students are made disciplined to attend the class or to attend the lecture. But here in ICT, we have to be self-disciplined if we want to get a best of it. And last one is the security. Security, again, it's a lack of privacy and the security, both are the same contest. So yes, so let's move forward. What are the characteristics of ICTs? They are the character, innovative and creative. They give access new forms of communication. ICT have a greater dominance and benefits in higher proportion to the educational area, since it makes more accessible and dynamic. Obviously, it is a dynamic because you can't in a regular mode. Sometimes teachers also, they left the classes earlier, but now it is everything is watching. Once you log in, your session starts, and once you log off, so everything is get recorded. So you can't, it is very dynamic. You can't do the cheating with this. So they are considered subject of public and political debate, since their use implies a promising future. Yes, and ICT are more frequently related to the use of the internet and computing. They affect many areas of science, human and sociology, the theory of organization or management. So what is technology now? Come to the point. Technology comes from the Greek word techne, which means craft or art. Technology therefore refers an art of the craft of responding to our educational needs. Technology is not just machine. It is a planned, systematic method of working. That is what I'm saying. You must have, more self-planned outcomes. Technology also refers to all the ways people use their inventions and discoveries to satisfy their needs and desires. Next, in education technologies, Bane, the learner is made to accept as gospels truth information they get from the internet. That is self-disciplined. Again, the learner stuffs the internet for pornography. That is the Bane. That is Bane. Sometimes you are using it, for the bad purpose. The learner has an uncritical mind on images floating on the television and computers, like you are watching the computer and television, and the same kind of images are coming into your mind. So this is again a kind of Bane. The TV makes the learner a more spectator. In the television, we just watch the things. But if we are talking about the ICT, here I already told the people must be interactive with and they know how to communicate with the help of these tools. So in education technologies, Bane, again, some points, the learner gets glued to his computer for computer assisted instruction, unmindful of the world, and so fails to develop the ability to relate to other. We make use of the internet to do character assassination of people. This is again a Bane. Because of our cell phones, we spend most of our time and wasted our time. This is again a Bane. We overuse and abuse TV or film viewing as strategy to kill the time. This is again a Bane. So in education, what are the boons? So we use it to help our students and teachers becoming caring and learn to do the following: relate, think, reflect, and analyze. So this is something, the boon of the education technology. So function of education technology: increase the student quality. Already one of the professor covered this. Increase the student quality of learning, decrease in the time spent in the learning, increase in the efficiency of the teachers, decrease in the education cost. These are the some functions of the education technology. So last, the conclusion: the ICT are indisputable, and also they are the part of the technological culture that surrounds us, with which we must live and expand our physical and mental ability and the possibility of the social development. ICT contributes to the emergence of new values, causing continuous change in the structures, economic, social, and cultural rights. So with this note, I am ending up here. If anybody have any question, you may follow me on my channel. Also, I'm working on artificial intelligence, machine learning, and I'm basically a VLSI guy. I did masters and PhD in the VLSI. That is very large scale integration. I think I corrected Venugopal. It is a very large scale integration techniques where we are we are dealing with the chip designing. And since electronics and telecommunication, they loses their charm. Earlier it was very good, so I switched my area to do very connected with it, that is artificial intelligence. Now I am working in the area of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and apart from that, virtual reality and augmented reality. I am loving to learn more and more and more, and not only by study but by also implementing it. So this is all about my site, and thank you very much to Venugopal, and this is our first interaction, I think. So we'll try to get in touch with you in the future.
Definitely, sir, definitely. Thank you that for correcting me. And I owe an apology for what for a mistake which I would have done on your profile. Well, having said this, we will take a cues from what Dr. Pawan Sir said, that virtual reality, augmented reality will be the need of an hour for upcoming days. Very specifically pointed out that distance education actually they are not actually making a sound, but they are actually using this technology from very long time. As because pandemic struck out, and we all conventional universities are now in adopting this kind of ICT. But it is truly said that Dr. Pawan, that they are using it from past 15 years, 2 decades onwards, but they are not making a buzz. They know how to take it up. We will look forward from the distance education university to adapt and we should learn for the various universities or for various purposes. And you're absolutely rightly said, sir. There is an indirect proportion between the lack of privacy and the security, which has to be thought, and we have to try to maintain a balance between these two things, sir. And obviously, as into the new kind of a generation and new technologies emerging, it's indisputable for sure. We look forward many more such kind of technology with affordable pricings and all other things. I'm pretty sure people like you who are into the research domain will definitely make it a very more cost effective and usable platform, sir. Having said this, thank you once again, Dr. Pawan.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube audience, a very small request that please wear mask when you are going outside. Use sanitizers when you are touching any of the things. And all from COE India and again from SkillSlate India. So our humble request is to use mask when you are going outside, because day in and day out we see our own resource people citing an excuse for their health issues, for running for hospital emergency, for getting oxygen. So it pains us when our own people getting hospitalized or admitted. So I know that you all well aware of that, but still it is our duty to remind you people. So I again request you to use mask when you're going outside and use sanitizers whenever and however it is possible. So having said this, it is my time to welcome my next speaker. COE India and SkillSlate India believes that we won't bring only the academic or eminent leaders apart from the universities or corporate. We also believe in upcoming eminent research scholars that that they also could be able to produce or give a lot of information on this. So if you look upon to our previous events, ongoing events or upcoming events and all, there is a strike between the young and the old, and the research scholars to the doctoral and PDFs and all. So we always maintain it so that it will be beautiful. So with this interesting, I would like to call a very dynamic lady. Yes, Adib Mujtaba Ali, MSc B.Ed and a certified career analyst. She is presently pursuing PhD in microbiology from Osmania University, Hyderabad, India. Completed her master's in 2006, working as a lecturer almost around 12 years and above at Shadan degree and PG College, Hyderabad, India. She has been mentoring many students in the area of microbiology, nutrition disciplines, and for the house projects. She has also guided school teachers. Good to know that many people fail to guide school teachers, but it is very interesting for us that you are guiding school teachers in the national level science fairs. She's also been invited as a judge for the various schools national science fairs and all. To add on her credit, she's been authored many research articles. She has been given 3 book chapters, and one being a co-author and 2 being all alone. Okay. And she has also authored a handbook and a lecture notes on bacterial quorum sensing. Pardon, madam, you have to let me know what is this all thing about. It goes about my head. But however, I congratulate for that. In addition to that, she is also founder and CEO of startup Chinese Educational Solutions from 2021 onwards, March 2021, where she provides career guidance, academic counseling, editorial assistance, online tutoring, and educational workshops. She is also a Google verified and approved Startup Indian Hub member. Having said this, that she has also published a lot of articles in Springer and CRC presses, attended national conferences, international conferences to present papers, research papers. She was been shortlisted for WOSO Award and a project fellow for SERB projects on biocontrol agent for Bacillus species, along with her teacher. Along with that, she's also a teacher for MSc microbiology things and all. So the list actually grows, but I have very limited because I'm not that pure science student to let know what all these things and all. I'll be very happy that you could introduce yourself after your thoughts being shared with either members. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to Adib Mujtaba Ali that she's going to present her views on ICT. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Asadeep Mushtaba Ali. I thank COE India and SkillSlate Foundation for considering me as a resource person for International E-Conference IDEA 2021 and giving me an opportunity to be a part of this intellectual event. I take it as a privilege sharing such a platform with a cohort of distinguished academicians. I thank Professor Raghuvendran Venugopal, convener COE India, for introducing me. My presentation is on information technology, information and communication technology, a Boon or Bane. Is my PPT visible?
Yes, it is visible, ma'am. We could able to see that.
Okay. So, actually speaking, this is an age-old argument first raised by renowned physicist Albert Einstein, who has quoted that I fear the day technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots, by Albert Einstein. Coming to information and communication technologies, it is described as diverse collection of technical tools and services used to communicate as well as develop, disseminate, maintain, and handle information. Some examples of these technologies are computer, internet, diverse casting technologies like radio and television and telephony. Effectiveness of ICTs in education, so it expands formal and informal educational access to formerly undeserved constituencies such as dispersed and rural population, groups excluded due to social and cultural factors, ethnic minorities, girls and women, people with disabilities and the elderly, financial or other reasons due to which they are unable to participate in formal or informal education. The use of ICTs has helped improve the quality of education as well. It enhances the quality of education in several ways, like by increasing learner motivation and engagement, by facilitating the acquisition of basic skills, and by enhancing teacher training. ICTs are also transformational tools which, when used appropriately, can promote the shift to a learner-centered environment. Computers and internet used for teaching and learning purpose. There are three general approaches to the instructional use of computers and the internet, namely learning about computers and the internet, in which technological literacy is the end goal, learning with computers and the internet, in which the technology facilitates learning across the curriculum, and learning through the computers and the internet, integrating technological skills development with curriculum application. Research says the potential of ICT to support improvement in aspects of literacy, numeracy, and sciences, improved writing skills like grammar, presentation, spelling, word recognition, and volume of work, age gains in mental calculations, and enhanced number skills, for example, the use of decimals, and better data handling skills, and increased ability to read, interpret, and sketch graphs, improvements in conceptual understanding of mathematics, particularly solving problems in science, particularly through use of simulations. ICT has also helped in raising standards of several schools in getting better results, especially in subjects like English, mathematics, and science. COVID-19, the online classes during COVID-19 and how ICT has helped us is flexibility of time, bye-bye uniforms. Students were no more asked, were no more made particular to wear uniforms. Then zero transportation time. Time was also saved here. No carrying heavy bags and books. Parents can monitor personally teaching learning processes, and fresh lunch and home comfort. Coming to AI, artificial intelligence, the futuristic applications. So this is one of the important aspects of ICT. The terminology artificial intelligence, as we all are familiar of it, it refers to the phenomenon where a machine acts as a blueprint of the human mind by being able to understand, analyze, and learn from data through specially designed algorithms. Artificially intelligent machines can remember human behavior patterns and adapt according to their preferences. Its applications in education, artificial intelligence can automate basic activities in education like grading. Educational software can be adapted to student needs. It can point out places where courses need to improve. Students could get additional support from AI tutors. AI-driven programs can give students and educators helpful feedback. It is altering how we find and interact with information. It could change the role of teachers. AI can make trial and error learning less intimidating. Data powered by AI can change how schools find, teach, and support students. AI may change where students learn, who teaches them, and how they acquire basic skills. Then ICT also supports Bloom taxonomy. So this is the digital model of Bloom's taxonomy, remembering through bookmarking, copying, highlighting, searching, understanding through journaling, tweeting, tagging, subscribing, applying through calculating, charting, editing, uploading, analyzing through mind mapping, surveying, linking, validating, evaluating through grading, testing, posting and moderating, and creating through blogging, filming, podcasting, and directing. ICT has a role to play here as well. Then some of the advantages of ICT are greater efficiency throughout the educational systems. Communication channels are increased through email discussion groups and chat rooms. Regular use of ICT across different curriculum subjects can have a beneficial motivational influence on students' learning. And benefits of ICT in examination system, that is environment friendly, economical, quick turnaround time, highly secure, easy to use, and auto grading. And one of the problem was cheating during online exams. So even that was rectified by ICT by use of secure browsers. So examiner comes to know whenever the student is trying to open another browser for cheating purpose or some other purpose, then remote proctoring. So remote proctoring was made available by image capturing, audio and video capturing, audit logging, etc. Then remote candidate authentication through identity card is made possible. Then data encryption during transit to prevent the unauthorized access to question banks. And exam timers are being set for each question and section of the question. However, here some disadvantages are also there. So one of the major disadvantage is unhealthy and hinders learning. So this is where our Albert Einstein's quote suits well. Unhealthy in the sense these people become couch potatoes, no socialization, low emotions, no interaction, and hinders learning, that is no thinking, not exploring self-creativity, own flexibility, not exploring own flexibilities and adaptability. This is one of the major disadvantage if we completely depend on ICT. And this is also a known fact that computers are expensive, not available to everyone, easy access to banned sites and violence, forbidden transacts such as drugs, and increased cyber crime, some of the disadvantages of ICT. And its disadvantage in online examination system is challenges in technology adoption, infrastructural barriers, difficulty in grading, long answer type, susceptible to cheating, and transitioning to open book exams. Presently, need of the hour, if we see following the COVID norms or the pandemic conditions, it is important that online courses should be encouraged, encouraging online co-curricular workshops, encourage online internships for school kids, college students, fresh pass outs, encourage software companies to have tie-up with universities and educational institutes to implement AI-based infrastructure, which is pocket friendly, and encourage faculty online upskill courses, and to encourage edtech startups and support edupreneurs. So here, especially universities should either tie up or incubate promising edtechs. In this way, edtechs get authentication for their mission to uplift education, and universities can reach higher or greater audience through them. Following this, because I'm a microbiology person, I would say coronavirus, it is simple, just a macromolecular entity composed of proteins and genetic material. It is an obligate intracellular parasite which requires a living host for its survival. And this entity has taken over the globe and has set all of us to home arrest since 1.5 years. And in all this situation, it is ICT which is running the show single-handedly. Therefore, I conclude ICT is definitely a boon. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ali ma'am. It was more scientific in way of putting facts before us. That you spoke about the what ICT could be from the Einstein's thoughts, philosophies and all. it was a very apt and trying to keep it like in a Michael Shoemaker as fast as possible. I highly appreciate that, you were keeping our audience more entertaining on the tip of toes by giving a lot of emphasis on how ICT could be used. Okay, how to minimize the distractions and all. Having said this, I once again thank you, ma'am. And ladies and gentlemen, I could able to say, if you could able to give a big round of applause to such kind of research scholars, that we should hide, time for us to empower women, time for us to uplift the, the other gender also in India. So we believe, COE India and SkillSlate believe that empowering both women and the the child is one of the paramount objectives of us. So having said this, thank you once again, and I call upon the next speaker, Mr. Milind Nayak, a very good friend of mine who's been worked in a very, very short span of time with us. Milind Nayak, sir, comes with 28 years of hands-on experience on data centers, servers, desktops, laptops, and a lot of, computer gadgets, if I'm right. Okay, he is very much expertise in LAN, WAN, and Wi-Fi networks, server administrations, IT and ICT management. He also been expertise specialized in MSCE, RHCE. Pardon me, I may not be aware of the full abbreviation of all these things, but all I could know about that, these are a lot of technical words includes in the area of ICT, Unix, Oracle, DBA, thin client configurations like terminal servers, biometric, attendance, CCTVs, and many more as such. At present, that he is working as working at Shilp MIS Technologies Private Limited, Mumbai, Maharashtra, as a consultant and a business development manager. He's got a lot of awards and achievements in his credentials. To speak about one such is that he also bagged the third prize in IT resource optimization in given by the National Center for Quality Management, NCQ, one of the prestigious awards in across pan India. To speak about my relationship with Milind Nayak, that we have been worked with almost for a year, and is very amazing person in speaking about ICT technologies, which comes to wireless and all of the things. So having said this, Milind Nayak, sir, over to you. You could be able to share your thoughts about how ICT can be, is it a boon or a bane? It's all yours, sir. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, very good morning to all of you. Indra sir and IDEA 2021 team for giving me this opportunity to speak about ICT. So, first of all, let us understand what is ICT. So, basically, it is information and communication technology, where it's a blended form of technology where the technological gadgets like your laptops, desktops, servers, network devices, media controllers, and your software, system software, application software come together and deliver the deliverable to the end user. So coming back to this agenda, let us discuss that is ICT is a boon or bane. So as per my observation, I have jotted down around 11 points which are coming or falling under boon, and some 2-3 points which are falling under bane. So finally, let me tell that ICT is dependent on human beings, of course, because finally all programming, all planning, everything is done by the human beings. So finally, it is in up to the hands and inclination or the mentality of the human beings how they should use and apply it. So it is basically purely dependent on the humans, so that how they can utilize it and encash its advantages rather than disadvantages. So first point is basically a convenience. How convenience and what is convenience? That means in this pandemic situation, especially, you cannot go out. There is a lockdown, and during this also still you can continue your learning. You can continue delivering the lectures. You can continue accepting the lectures and attending your colleges in a remote manner.
Sir, you are not audible now from past one. I hope you might get some glitches. Say something. Hello, how are you? Nayak sir, say something. Whether you are audible or not, let us see. No, you are not audible. I request all other participants to remain muted. It will be good that we could able to see whether there is some technological glitch here. But Milind Nayak sir, this one.
Please SMS in the chat. If you are facing any issue, please SMS in the chat. Please send a message in the chat. We cannot hear you.
So, in meanwhile, YouTube audience, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very small technical glitch. See, the irony is that when we are discussing about information and communication technology, the glitch has struck on us. It's like we understand that all good things comes up with such kind of a pain. We need to learn things and all. I request to all to be more patient enough to come back. Milind.
Raghavendra sir, I have requested Milind sir to leave the meeting and join again.
Okay. All right. So to all YouTube audience, sir will be just again rejoin with us. In meantime, I hope that you're all enjoying this session. How was the day 1, day 2, and day 3's first session? Please write it in the comment box. We are all eagerly waiting to do a surprise conference. I did say a surprise, is it? Anyhow, as I said, surprise. As it is not surprise as of now, we have another conference bound to happen in month of September, October. I hope that it will be more fascinating, more entertaining, and more knowledgeable. Pretty sure that we come out with more than hundreds of speakers in that. We are not going to bore you for sure. There will be a lot of entertainments for you people so that you could learn things. As people said that gaming, exponential learning is one such a buzzword. So we are using such domains so that you could able to learn it. Now I ask Milind Nayak to take over. Milind?
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, very much. So over to you. Carry on, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry for the technical glitch. It seems it is raining heavily over here in Mumbai. So maybe because of that, So coming back to my point, ICT, I have jotted down 11 points under Boon. And the first point which I was talking is convenience. And convenience, how that sitting at your home place, you can continue your business. Business of what? Business of learning, business of delivering the lectures, business of enhancing the experience, the user experience. That is how the convenience is. And that too also without traveling anywhere, without wasting your additional time. So that is how the convenience comes. The second point is the enhanced LMS collaboration, learning, constructive learning, and creative learning. So how it is constructive and creative? Because you have ability to utilize the technology tool and build some new things. That too also on the platform which is shared among various people all over the world. It is not only in India. You can say if you have international presence, you can share your ideas, your creativity all over the world, and there you can showcase your ability. So that is how the collaboration and collaborative learning can be taken place. Third point is due to technology, the accessibility is anywhere, wherever you have internet accessible. So it is accessible anywhere. So learning cannot be.
Milind Nayak, sir, I'm pretty sure that there is some lot of technical hindrance happening at your area. Sorry to say this, we understand that with all pains that you have been joining us, rejoining us, still there is a lot of, there is some paucity at your oration, there are a lot of technical network things and all. whatever you have to say, your thoughts, we are open with that. We will stop it at here. Don't take me in the wrong way. We are all professional friends over here. Ladies and gentlemen, it pains us that one resource person could not able to give a talk because of the technical glitch. Probably everyone would have been experienced this in one way or the other. With all humble and apologetic to Mr. Milind Naik, sir. I will definitely give a call to you, sir, once this session gets over. Now I request, our sessional chair to address. Before he addressing what we have been submitted from first speaker to today, I was very much impressed with Milind Naik was talking about the platform, the peripherals domain, that how we could be able to utilize for the ICT and what is the futuristic thoughts that is been stored in for the coming generations ahead. So having said this, well, of course, though everyone says that I am technical savvy person, technological person, I am too good in handling software, too good in handling this. There are so many gadgets, there are many softwares, there are many things coming with us that however smart that you are, we still learn a lot of things. Need to learn a lot of things in technologies. As technology sets divides to us, made me more supportive. It also divides us in learning things and all. Thank you, Milind Naik, for giving a little input on it, but we'll definitely understand your pain over there. We will definitely reach back to you in one or the other occasion for that. So I would like to give a very brief information or introduction about my good friend, colleague, and my association very active member. Here we have Dr. Gurendra Bharadwaj, a professor in economics and control of examinations India, member of COE India and control of examinations for NIIT University, which is in Nirmanan, Rajasthan. He is also serving under the Faculty of Management. He has been graduated from BCom, as well as MCom from the University of Lucknow, and he has been awarded PhD in Applied Economics from the University of Lucknow. I envy your doctorate, sir, because I am a economics student here. Having said this, that he is very much specialized in financial management, taxation system, financial system, and the market conditions. His area of research includes financial markets, banking, rural non-farm sectors, and entrepreneurship. Dr. Bharadwaj has been received PhD for the role of NABARD in the development of rural non-farm sector in Uttar Pradesh from the Department of Applied Economics, University of Lucknow in 2003. So prior to joining to NIIT University, Dr. Bharadwaj was an associate professor for finance in IILM Graduate School of Management, Greater Noida. He has also been worked with Amity Business School, Noida, Institute of Productivity Management, Meerut, and Lucknow University, various timelines in his career time. He has been actively involved in teaching of UG, PG levels more than 20 years. Apart from the classroom teaching, Dr. Bharadwaj also conducts MDPs on finance for non-executives, corporate finance, tax planning for the middle management system, middle-level management. He has also gained industrial experience of more than 3 years, internal auditor for a joint stock company, project consultant, tax consultant in various capacity and various consultancy firms. He is also presented and published, very mind-blowing, sir. You have been more than that. He's been Sachin Tendulkar research. He has already crossed 100 research papers and case studies in various journals, in conferences and national conferences and international repute. At present, he is working as a professor of economics and control of examinations in Rajasthan at NIIT University. He is very efficient academic trainer, engaging faculties on effective teaching, research methodology, case writing, and online educations. He's also been associated with Startup India and Atal Innovation Mission as a mentor and mentoring MSME units in Nimrana. Dr. Bharadwaj is also contributing for community-based programs like Unnat Bharat, Swachh Bharat, and Community Connect at NIIT University. So the list actually goes, but I'm trying to limit myself so that let Gurendra Bharadwaj could able to speak his thoughts and try to summate what all the research, the resource people already spoken. Having said this, Thank you for giving the opportunity to read out your profile, sir. In fact, I'm putting the vice versa and over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I think my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. We could see online examinations, Dr. Gurendra Bharadwaj and Narsit Gupta, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I must thank to Raghavendra sir. Actually, one day I got a call from Dr. Raghavendra. It was last year, and he asked this thing that, are you controller of examination? I said yes, and then we started this forum with a very informal meeting, and then now it's an organization. So I always congratulate to that gentleman that how to create the organization people should learn, and this is a skill. Because many of us, we have a lot of ego. Let us very frank, and sometimes we are not able to cooperate also. But even then, within a year, we have seen from less than 10 to 200 plus. So many congratulations to Dr. Raghavendra, and then I will present my views. See, when I joined as a controller of examination and other academic administrative position, I always keep one condition with me, and that is I will teach. Because my first love is teaching. Whatever is there, that is secondary. And therefore, I teach in every semester. So when I teach, I interact with the students. And when I interact with the students, I understand their psychology. When I understand their psychology, whether we are changing the mode of examination or we are changing anything, at least we have a first-hand information. And that is a benefit which I am getting till now. So last year, we did a lot of things in online examination. Online examination was not new thing for NIT University. We did it from since inception. But in last year, first time we have faced these kind of problems where we have to conduct the exam in uncontrolled environment. So when I say uncontrolled environment means what? Earlier we had an online examination within the lab. So all infrastructure, software, hardware is in our control. We have our proctoring, invigilation, everything, security system. But after COVID, we exposed with this at a large number that we have to conduct fair and transparent examination, where the student is not physically present at the campus. And therefore, it poses a lot of challenges. What about the security? What about the cheating, light, internet connection, bandwidth, many things. And believe me, we learn a lot. A team of teachers, team of leadership, team of people, they work day and night. So in the last semester, we developed our own sophisticated virtual platform for the academic delivery. It is fully functional, very sophisticated. And we did it customization also. So the X student will get the information for X student only, not Y. This is another important. Now this time we face another challenge. And we thought we'll not conduct only an open book examination. Let us have another way of examination, where a student has to appear in the same way what they did in the campus. And therefore we have to work hard. So we use secure exam browser, and again, taking the help of this, we again developed our system, the gate, we use it. And with all security systems and student application, we made it. And I am happy to announce, as a controller of examination till today, we have achieved 99% participation. When we have two cyclones, from 7th May to 6th June, we have two cyclones. Students are placed more than 23 states. So keeping their all conditions, even COVID, we were able to conduct exams. In first phase, we find some difficulty with some students. So we said, okay, no problem. We are very particular for every student, and every day we were generating the report of every exam. And whenever we find any unusual transaction, means people are absent or people were technically present but not able to answer, our team has immediately identified, contacted, made the list, and again course in charge is contacted, and we did. So definitely this is the thing which we have done this time. Now I'm coming on my idea. So online examination, many of senior people have spoken. I must thank to Professor Rajesh, Professor Balaji, Srinivasan sir, Yogesh sir, Pawan sir, Adeep, and Milind sir. Milind sir could not express so many things because of the internet connectivity. And this is the most important problem, very common problem in online education system or in any online transaction. So when there is a class, the recording is available after the class. But in the examination, everything is live. And therefore, there's no retake. So if there is any damage, then damage happened. Now we have to take our corrective actions. So we already discussed this thing. My focus will be on the subjective examination. Because when we say online examination, many of us have this idea to conduct only objective questions, not subjective. And when we say subjective, then there is a challenge, and that is cheating. So how to control it? How to draw the diagram, freehand curves, numerical questions, are many things. And I interacted so many Indian say vendors, and every time we find something which is very, very difficult to address. Somewhere they have a problem in the proctoring, somewhere they have a problem in uploading the questions, like that. So there are certain limitations, technical limitations also. But anyway, now when we say for subjective examination, there are certain fundamentals we should understand. And the fundamentals are why people are discouraging MCQ or objective type questions. They have this belief that it may be a guess, though there are many ways to control them by negative marking, randomization, etc. But even then, it has a lot of limitation. And therefore, for technically, most of us as a teacher prefer to have questions on subjective matters, means where the student has to write in a descriptive. We have this assumption, hypothesis, that it gives an opportunity for a creative learning, creative writing. But at the same time, we should accept one bitter truth, that most of us, we do not read the descriptive questions answer. Many of us have done the evaluation on pen, paper, and online. But just think, just ask from yourself, how much portion of that descriptive question you have actually read? We are not reading, and that is true. So there is a question of plagiarism, there is a question of cheating. Now, how to resolve this thing with the help of technology? And with this, I am bringing few things. Now, all these are available in the online system. So I'm not going to read all these things. I'm coming directly on my topic where I want to put my efforts. Now, that we know, see what is the strength and what is the opportunities, weaknesses, and threats. As previous speaker already said, whatever protection we will put, they'll find out the solution, and that is correct. So when we launch SCB, they immediately go how to break SCB. So whatever security system you will bring, and because of the development of our computer technology, they also have equal resources. The students have a lot of time. And therefore, I took the help of a student this time for one of my innovation and thought process where I am working. So I am bringing this concept of answer bank. I don't know how many out of you they have heard before that, because we did a lot of work on the question bank. And when I say question bank, we work a lot, the quality of question bank, the ratio of questions, and other things. The frequency of writing questions, retiring questions, many things. But when it comes on the subjective, we face a lot of problems. And therefore, my proposition is where I am working. Why the student should write? Why not they should assemble the answer? So when I say assemble the answer means what? There are two boxes only. One box shows the question, another box shows the answers. So answer is in a very short lines. Every line has its own details. And what they have to do? They have to just drag and drop, or they have to click. Now, the interesting thing is the student has their questions, their answer on a one platforms, and machine can restrict them that the machine will take only those answers which are available in the database. So there's no need of Google. There's no need of searching. And sometimes it also takes very low bandwidth because the data is available in your database. This one. Now the question is how to do it. So suppose I ask one question and we are working on that there should be some ideal question answer. Suppose that it carries 12 sentences. Then we are splitting all 12 sentences in the weightage. Some sentence will be say for 12%, some sentences for 7%, 5%, and then all sentences comes at 100%. So if the question carries say 5 marks, if the student is able to take all sentences which are relevant for the question, will get 5. Machine is giving, nobody is giving. And if he's not or she is not able to take all 100%, may take 30%. We get automatically 30%. So the subjective and descriptive question will be free from subjectivity, and we will accept, all teachers will accept, and we can recheck it. That sometimes we are not able to justify our role as an evaluator because our mood was not good. We have not done that justice. We have committed that mistake of research methodology, type 1 and type 2. Just rethink, relook of your life. That we accepted wrong things and we rejected right things. It happened. And because of other pressure, many things, we are human beings. We have our emotions, we have our sense, and therefore it is very, very difficult for us to concentrate. So the proposal, what we are saying in the proposed scheme, that the machine will take the evaluation and it is scalable. And when I say scalable, it will save a time. Now people may criticize, and that is a proper criticism, that it will discourage the actual learning, will discourage the creative learning, or we can say creative writing. And therefore, I always suggest we should not use the technology blindly. We should use it mindfully. When I say we should be mindful, means what? I'm not suggesting that it should be 100%. It should be some part, maximum part. But there should be one portion which should be totally based on the presentation. And we have done this thing. This time, very interesting projects we have done in our assessment system. We took the help of industry. We connect with the industry people. We connected industry people with the student. We connected with the educational technology department. And all three, 4 sectors, when they combined, they made a fantastic project. Fantastic. In the same way, in a community connect, we have done this thing. That our educational technology department and our teaching assistant, now they are conducting online classes for the school children. So what I want to say, when we make an assessment for the student, we should give them an opportunity to assemble their answers, and therefore we should basically accept the fundamental of assessment. And the fundamental of assessment is what? Discriminate the people based on their merits. So if it is an assessment of education system, what we are doing, we are grading students A, B, C, D, whatever category, based on their academic, based their own merits. And we should ensure that our method of assessment should be such which should increase the learning ability of learner. We should give an opportunity to teacher to learn and relearn and unlearn many things. And therefore, as a student of economics, I always think for the economy of skill, because it is very important. In today's scenario, when the revenue is shrinking, we cannot propose any costly proposal. And many good examination engines, they fail to deliver for middle level or low level, I should say, institution, because of the cost. So per examination cost is high and per hour cost is high, and then there is a problem. Now, one more important thing which I will share, and then I'll end my part, that for technology, what is most important, and that is training. We should not miss that factor of training. We could do this successfully because we were focusing on the training. So when I say training means what? Train all users. Train students first. They are your first user. So we did a lot of mock drill, lot of proxy test. Every student should be comfortable with the technology. This is most important. Now the second thing, who will create the question? The teacher will create the question. And therefore the teacher should be comfortable. They also require training. Your technical people also require training. Because once you'll open everything, there will be challenges. And therefore you have to update the skill of your technical team, that they should be aware about all technical threats which a student can give, and then definitely the rectification of this. And sometimes, believe me, and it's a very practical example, sometimes you're not able to solve the problem within that window. We should accept it. Nothing wrong to redo the same thing in a correct way. We should not compromise with the quality. That is my submission. So what I'm proposing, and most probably by the next conference, I will be able to give you the results of this proposition. And I'm taking the control variable, means those who are not taking this in online, those who are taking this proposition of descriptive questions. How much time it will save for the student, for the faculty, as well as the level of objectivity should increase in the subjective and descriptive questions also. With this, I'm ending my session. Thank you, Dr. Raghavendra and CEO India, to giving me that opportunity. And thank you very much. With this, I'm ending my session.
Thank you, Dr. Gurendra sir. In fact, it was a complete sharing of your mind experiences, what's been happening at your university, in a way that you have submitted whatever all the resource people would love to say. So you have been expressed with your experiences. I highly appreciate you, taking out your own time and coming over here. Well, having said this, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube participants, I highly appreciate that today's session on information and communication technology, whether it's a Boon or a Bane. We have a very conclusive remark that it is more of advantage in nature. The subject that we should be very much prepared to welcome those things. People who spoke about from the usage of the examinations, how it could be digitalized, people who spoke about the augmented reality, people who also spoke about that how demographic, 138 crore people could be able to walk in with effectiveness of the digital, things and all, usage of technologies. And there are people who also spoke about how to utilize the Wikipedia and Google for the effective information. There are people who spoke about that, it could be more cost effective. And in fact, there are people who also spoke about that, the philosophies of ICT, which could be able to change the entire dominion of information and technology in adaptability. So having said all these things, my mind still repetitively says that today one of our resource persons could not able to join because of the pandemic. Whether it is for his family or for his relative or a neighbor, we have no idea about it. But we all pray for him, and we are there with the resource people. The Professor Gokul Krishna couldn't able to join us. Having said this, I'm still reminding to all my audiences, please wear masks when you're going outside and use sanitizers when you are touching any foreign bodies. So having said this, that I ask, do we have any questions from YouTube audience so that the sessional chair and the resource people could able to take one or few questions? Thank you, and over to you.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all the speakers. That was a wonderful session. Let me just go through all the questions and select the most relevant and the most important ones to throw at you. And I hope the audience are going to enjoy our upcoming sessions as well. Just allow me a second. Okay. The question is about affordability of this in technology and all these kind of new softwares and the tools we are using to learn. While the big institutions and the big universities have access to all these kind of softwares or these kind of facilities which we talked about today, many of the rural colleges or institutions, they fail to do so. So what is your opinion about that, and how we can tackle that particular thing so that the bridge we are trying to build to reduce the gap in the education should be reduced and not expanded. Otherwise, it would be like the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer. The people with privilege will be able to learn and not the others. So I would like to take this one question and would like to request one or two resource person to share your views about this, and then we can move on to the next session.
Okay.
Who would like to go first? Yes, Gurendra sir, please.
Okay, thank you. So what we can do, there are a lot of open sources which are available and which are free. There's no cost, but there's a little technical skill is required to integrate them. So what I'll suggest that use those open sources for the assessment purpose as well as for academic delivery, and then improve it. We can do customization also. There are a lot of plugins we can develop, and based on our requirement, we can customize them, and it has a very, very low cost.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to pass on to Srinivasan sir and add on to the question. All these things we talk about, usually they stay on the YouTube or the Zoom meeting or on the paper. So what would be the two things you would suggest that we can start implementing all these things right away and to implement this ICT structure and all the other things we talked about? To you, Dr. Srinivasan.
Yes. See, basically, World Wide Web has imparted a lot of information to the students and the tutors across the world. And giving this information online and keeping it alive for everybody, and any point of time they can have a look at it. And this has been adopted by across the institution across the world. And this has to be the future forward, and we need to have these videos online, YouTube videos and other platforms where we can use it and keep it alive always. And I also suggest all the faculties who are taking and running the courses now to have this recorded and keep it always online, so that the students, if they are not able to catch up on in the class, they can always go back to the session and recall what's been taught in the class, and they'll be able to take it forward, considering the pandemic situation and the classes they don't attend on a regular basis. And I know how the students attend the classes at this point of time on the online sessions.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I also hope that going forward, the great and the bigger universities and institutions like yours or Dr. Raghavendra's, they can adopt some schools or colleges at the village level and help them leverage their technology and the technical infrastructure. Maybe that can help as well. I would like to ask Balaji Muthuswamy sir for the closing statement on this particular question, and then we will move on to our next session for today. To you, Balaji sir.
Dr. Balaji sir, SPB sir, are you there?
I think he's not there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, he's there.
Sir. May I know what is the question, please?
Sir, how we can make technology accessible at the ground level, because currently all these things are being online and on paper. How to make it accessible at the ground level, those who cannot afford it?
Those who cannot afford it, actually, the state government has launched a scheme known as Kalvi TV in Tamil Nadu. So, like that, the government should take sufficient measures for those people who cannot access, for example, people in the remote areas and villages. So that is the only facility, because even I have watched this pandemic situation, some parent begging in a cell phone shop for want of a cell phone, and by grace that shop owner is handing over a cell phone for his son to attend online classes. So for those who cannot afford, the government should make sufficient measures for them to overcome the situation at the ground level. I think that would be the best feasible solution.
Thank you so much, Balaji. Thank you so
Can
much.
I also
Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would like to add that we can have educational bubbles which can be created. Educational bubbles in the sense, small group of students who can be made to attend classes. So in that way, they can share the technology or the whatever Zoom meeting is
Yes.
their classes virtual thing. So educational bubble in my terminology, that is.
Very good. Thank you. It is a good phrases, acronyms which is coming before us, educational bubble things and all. Well, thank you. I think that we will restrict ourselves by asking questions. Any questions are there? We will make a list of it. Last time was
Yes.
what we have done. We will answer them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, well, we are here. ICT is known for digital. ICT is known for faster, and that is why this session, closed half an hour prior in much very mature way and very faster way. Well, friends, today we had a very beautiful interaction from people who come across with the various fields, various multi-directional, multitask people. Having said this, that a lot of things are been stored for us in the coming session. We have we have a competency-based examinations or research-based examinations. That is also more important. Before me speaking about the upcoming session, my dear friends, let's accept the fact that when we are talking about information communication and technology, information communication technology, we are not restricting ourselves to the piece of information. Today, information is available across the world. You ask something, you will get 1,000 for sure. But nurturing information to the knowledge is most important thing where we are actually failing into the system. Okay, there are a lot of softwares available, but acquainting hands-on experience where the knowledge is coming into the picture, where we are failing that. We are taking as easy as possible, but that should not be. With having said this, I would like to talk about the upcoming session, competency-based exams or research-based examinations, which is more interesting. All these days that including you, me, have written psychometric way of writing examinations, 3 hours affirmative-based examination, memory-based examinations. Now we are talking about the research-based examinations, whether students could able to adapt the challenge or adapt to that environment. It's the group of people who are going to discuss it from 2 o'clock onwards. Okay, please be on toes. That I always say that please be watching in YouTube. There are a lot of sessions about to come here, and I request Amay, over to you, and you could speak about the analytics, and you could pass on this to the sponsor of the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We are receiving equally and even more response from the audience and the love from the audience. The session today was really wonderful. The audience actually enjoyed it a lot. I request that all the speakers, that if possible, please go through the YouTube live chat. We have shared the link with all the speakers, and do look at the comments and do look at the love we are getting from the audience. Thank you so much. Over 5,000 people have been reached by far. The exact details I will be sharing with all the speakers soon, and I will share it with all the audience as well. Dear audience, thank you so much for this session. Next, we will be having a sponsored session. The ION India team will be sharing about the softwares and the tools they have been working on to make this education journey and the learning journey much more effective, and how we can use technology for the betterment of not only the teachers, not only the examiners, but also the students, and what can be done to automate all these processes. So without wasting much more time, I will hand over the stage to the ION India team, Yogesh sir, Kalim sir, and Manohar Joshi sir, to please tell us about the work you have been doing and how we can take benefit of it. Over to you, team.
And others, the sessional resource people can leave the session. We're very happy so that they will carry forward. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I request
Just
the
a moment, Amay. We have our Senior Vice President joining the session.
I'm there, Yogesh sir. Yeah.
Over to you, Manoj sir. You can go ahead, sir.
Let me know whenever you are ready.
Yes, yes. Amay, I'm ready. You can just give an introduction. We'll start.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Yon India team, for your time. I hand over to Manoj Joshi sir to please introduce about your work. The audience is excitingly looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Over to you, Yon India team.
Thank you, Amaya, and thanks to Dr. Raghavendra sir and the IDEA team and the COE forum and Bennett University, all the organizing committee for giving us an opportunity. And this is the second year we are collaborating with COE team, COE India. Last next 2020, the conference also we were there part of this, and it's very interesting to learn from all the eminent speakers and the accomplished educationalists, and it is also a very good platform to showcase our work, what we have done to higher education so far in the space of complete academics and examinations. So I would like to put up my presentation. I hope I'll be able to share the screen. Can you please make me host to share the screen? Thank you. Okay, I hope you are able to see the screen. Okay. Thank you so much. And um, I represent myself and my colleague, Mohammad Kalim is there on the group, Professor Yogesh. We represent from a company called Ion Idea, is a US based company since last 27 years. And we are a telecom services company. We have got a separate education products wing. We are very passionate about, our solutions for higher education, and we are having more than 120 universities institutions in India and overseas who are using our solutions for outcome based education, institutionalization, implementation, accreditation readiness, examination management, remote examinations, competency based education, outcome based enabled learning management system, digitizing of valuation system, attendance management system, so on and so forth. So entire aspects which are required for automating academic entire processes in an institution, may it be a affiliated institution or an autonomous institution, or it may be a university. We have taken care of all the requirements. For example, NBA has got various different formats for affiliated colleges, autonomous colleges, universities, and also UG, PG, pharmacy, polytechnic, MBA, MCA. So we have gone through line by line of the requirement, and we have come out with a unique solution which actually integrates the complete processes right from curriculum design till assessment, attainment analysis, and the other side of it, that examinations, grade cards, and various exceptions those arise in complete 4 years or 3 years span of a particular batch. So we have been successfully doing it, implementing, helping our institutions to achieve their objectives. One question was asked in the previous session about the affordability and ROI and all that. We have been really working because we are self-funded and a very strong company, and education is something which is a passionate area. That is why we are offering the solutions for based on the affordability in India for tier 2, especially remote colleges and all that. Many of the government institutions are also using our solutions. All right. So I remember the first when the first keynote session when on the first day when started, Dr. Agarwal sir, Vice Chancellor of Bennett University, he mentioned very important point that the new normal has to be redefined. That means there used to be a normal situation where students happily come to the institution, teachers happily come, and they have got routine their face to face teaching learning activities and all that. Now because of this pandemic, and we don't know the future of it, so we inevitably we have to adjust, and we have to operate remotely. For that, the main thing what is helping is today's technology, so ICT tools and all that. So it is very important to look at the reliable partners who will provide the various aspects of what are required. So we have come out with this set of suite. What you can see, the tools here. One is Ion Kudos, which is outcome based education software. Learning management system. This is not just like a open source learning management system like Moodle or something, because those are all useful for MOOC kind of massive online courses. Whereas what we need is, we need an academic learning management system which has got a proper academic structure behind it. Because a formal academic structure, we will have departments, and you have got programs, and program under that batches, under that semesters, courses, lab courses, so on and so forth. So it is very important to have a proper structure behind it. It's just not you host the courses and host the sessions, and students will attend and all that, because there are a lot of background activities are there which you will have to take a lot of data from the continuous assessments and all that, and then look at how the outcomes are being achieved or progressed and things like that. So we have gone through all the exceptions, all the pain areas what academics is facing. Based on that, we have come out with these solutions. Ion examination management system, right from registration, admission till graduation of the student, which has got many things which we learned over a period of 8 to 9 years. Ours is the only solution which has graduated successfully, some 5 to 6 batches now. So that has, there are many things, right from many things like lateral entries, and progressing the students from one year to other year. There will be first year academics will be challenging. The OBE of first year academics will be challenging. And then you can talk about further when it comes to eligibility of the students for writing the examinations, and then the examination seating arrangements, and later you can talk about gracing and grading policies, and till the student finally graduates and moves to the alumni group. So entire end to end the aspects have been taken care in the solution. Then Ion Exam is a remote examination software which will take care of conducting entire examination, administrating examinations remotely, yet not compromising on the typical way of how examinations used to be conducting earlier. That is, students will still write on the A4 sheet. Question paper delivery happens in a secured manner with current question paper pattern itself. No compromising on the question paper pattern. Because of the technology, you can many institutions are moving to only new type questions, that is one among the four answers sticking and those kind of things. Whereas higher order thinking, questions and answers and all that will need a lot of descriptive analytical answers. So for that, you need not compromise on your question paper pattern and all. The question paper will still follow the same thing. And question paper setters, the examination control of examination team, and the staff of the institution, nobody need to come to the institution in the extreme case. Everything can happen remotely. Everything can happen securely within the LAN system also. Everything can happen offline also. So we have defined the solution, entire set of these applications which will work as a complete ERP, which will facilitate remote processing of entire information and data. um, Futuric aspects, if you look at it, institutions uh, will face the issues on employability, making students get the job. And then there is also when it comes to outcome based education, the system has to be open enough to understand what stakeholders need. That is, when the students graduate and go to the industry, what industry expects out of the students, what industry wants students to know and students to do. So that is very important, that how comprehensively the student is able to attain the graduate attributes or the program outcomes. in the OBE context. So that is another very important aspect. Then leveraging technology, advanced technologies, to make sure that the system will prompt you with the predictions and proactive measures for students to attain the objectives or the learning outcomes. That means if you look at current system, what we have, when we compute program outcome attainment or even course outcome attainments at the end of this course, we will get some pointers what improvements have to be done, but the students who have completed that course, there is no possibility of improving them. So still that is a reactive as far as those students are concerned. So that is why we have come out with a solution, that is learning management system, OBE enabled, which will help you to monitor the outcomes on a continuous basis. So my colleagues will cover those things much in detail. So when it comes to outcome based education implementation, which is need of the hour, and we have been working with Malaysian institutions who are 2009 Washington Accord signatories. India has become Washington Accord signatory since 2014. We are also working with other institutions who are practicing ABET also, that is American Standard for Implementation of OBE. Now if you look at the matured institutions, they only look at every activity that is happening in the institution or at the department level, at the program level. Every activity happens that is connected with the outcomes. That means every activity will have a focus of outcomes, that is outcome based curriculum design, outcome based teaching learning practices, outcome based assessments, whether it is a formative assessments or summative assessments. Again, within formative assessments, whether activity based assessment, whether it is question paper based assessment, whether it is a problem based assessment, whether it is a project based assessment. So all those activities, and again higher order thinking skills have to be measured through rubrics, and again the rubric criteria are not just what individual faculty thinks about. Of course individual faculty will also have a liberty to add special measures what he thinks, because he is the best judge about his students. But it is also important that majority of the criteria will come from something called performance indicators. The performance indicators are basically the measurable aspects of the competencies hidden in your graduate attributes, that is program outcomes. Now if you see program outcomes A to K or 1 to 13 in NBA context, each program outcome has several competencies hidden in them, and each competency can be measured through several indicators. So it becomes very difficult unless we use the technology, and we have put a very nice structured uh, you know um, methodology through this uh, product. And this is not that only what we have thought about it, we have got experience of working with several institutions, hundreds of institutions who have practiced this and gone through the accreditation. So there are various challenges of manual practices of outcome based education, faculty time and effort. In fact, there is a independent study was conducted by one of the professors from Purdue University, USA, who is actually has done a doctorate in statistics and engineering education research, who has independently conducted evaluation of our product outcome based education software called Ion Kudos. And then he published a paper which was accepted by, that is the only paper which was accepted by NBA in its OSA conference. You must be knowing OSA is a conference once in 2 years it happens, and they don't allow the private software vendors to come in. But because of the the kind of content and the quality of paper, we were invited and we went there and presented this, including the professor who came all the way. So that particular paper has detailed out how the solution is going to help in getting the ROI, and how it saves the time of the faculty effort, and then which will help making creating the documentation online through the software, where teachers can only focus on pedagogical improvement and the teaching learning improvements, and so on and so forth. It will also help you to close the loop, like you can bring the marks to the system. It will calculate the attainment, it will always compare it with the thresholds. Wherever there are the gaps where you can define the corrective or preventive actions, you can define the improvement plan, and so only for the improvement of the weaker students. So it can isolate group of different weaker students based on the histogram class. Based on that you can define different improvement strategies for the teachers, students, and then those will be shared in the OBE based LMS, and teachers, students can take up those things and then become proactively improve on those outcomes and things like that. So there are several aspects are there. This is a very vast subject, so within this short time I'm just covering at a very high level. uh, Again, curriculum design, if you talk about, it's a teamwork. It is not one person's activity. Like if you just take one semester with 8 subjects, there are 8 course owners and several course instructors involved in delivering those courses to the students, and all courses which have got COs are contributing to the common program outcomes across all the semesters. So it is very important that all of them, they together do design the course outcomes in such a way that entire competency is hidden in each of these COs, sorry, the POs have to be properly targeted and then achieved. So that is very important. Unless there is a proper technology tool, it becomes very difficult. Documentation, you already know, since 2014 many faculty, professors and institutions have gone through the manual processes. By now you already know what it takes, what it actually, the pain is there in documentation. Bloom's taxonomy, it's not just cognitive taxonomy we are talking about, even psychomotor and affective way. That is, the OBE essence is all about, like, at the end of the program, student should demonstrate what he is knowing and what he is capable of doing, and also the emotional skills, and various professional skills. So Bloom's taxonomy will help us to define the course outcomes, and it will also help us to assess the all these students with respect to all these levels. Okay, so that is also taken care in the solution. Okay, then consistent mapping. So it is not just a ticking a CO to PO. You can only mention strength of mapping as 1 2 3, that you can do it always, but where the problem comes is there in the subsequent slide. Data volume, you can talk about the huge data. You can see in this slide, a college is having maybe some 5 departments. Each department has got several programs, that is UG, PG, maybe diploma or semi certification courses. Under that there are several batches. If it is a 4-year course, then 4 batches will be concurrently running in different semesters, and each batch has got several semesters. Each semester has got several courses. Each set of courses has got core courses, electives, and there are course owners, course instructors, lab instructors. Just imagine how we are going to have control on curriculum design for its adequate design and mapping. Normally nowadays what's happening is, before the accreditation last 2 months, teachers are sitting overnight and creating all the Excel sheets and all that. But we need to answer the question how it is going to give the return on investment to the institution. When we do everything in firefighting, does it really help the students to really gain the knowledge, and they become employable, whether it is really the system is outcome based. So it is very important to have a system, a technology enabled system, which will give always visibility to the management. When I say management, it is a program owner, or the department head, or the dean at the institution level, the principals, directors. They should have a complete idea through a color coded dashboard, how the curriculum design is progressing, how the students assessment is progressing, how attainment analysis is progressing, how proactively we can take the measure, what are the gaps, what continuous improvement plans are required, what all have to be improved at the course level, what all have to be improved at the semester level, what is the cycle of improvements, and how, what are the stakeholders are saying, what improvements I need to bring from them, the quantitative and qualitative feedback what your stakeholders are giving, how it is can be brought into the system for continual improvement. So various dimensions, all those focuses will have a meaning when you have a system which will take care of repetitive jobs, and make sure that all the things are accurate and give the information and then and there itself. And it should be a living system. Normally what happens, last 2 months, faculty will say that I am doing NBA work. The NBA work, there won't be anything separate as NBA work. It should be embedded in your day-to-day activities of teaching, learning, and the assessment, and taking measures for improvements. That should be imbibed into a teaching, learning, and academic activities, and that is possible when we have a living system through a technology like this. So several key success factors are there. In a keynote speech, Dr. Gopal Krishnan Joshi, he's mentioned, he's the executive director of Government of Karnataka's higher education. He told a very important aspect about integrating curriculum design, delivery planning, assessment planning, attainment analysis, and finally continuous improvement cycle. What does that mean? That means, that after learning about what is curriculum design, how to write the course outcomes, how adequately we need to map to program outcomes, after learning all these aspects, it is very exciting, and some course owners or all the course owners will do a very good job in curriculum design. But there is no adequate lesson plan, and course instructors, when they walk into the class, if they don't have to what extent a teaching has to be done for a particular session, what are the COs are going to be affected, what are the performance indicators we are going to measure, what level it has to be taught, what are the delivery methods, assessment methods, and how we are going to contribute, and what are the Bloom's levels, and how we are contributing finally to the overall outcome of the program. If that vision is not there, and that clarity that is what developing clarity, everybody says the OBE is all about developing clarity in your lesson delivery, every process. So what is developing clarity? It is basically having a proper integration from curriculum. What you design, that you teach. What you teach, please assess it. And what you assess, that will be a proper data for attainment and analysis. If the attainment analysis is proper, your continuous quality improvement will have a meaning. Otherwise, entire thing is to just put it in an Excel sheet and colorful reports, and finally whether that is really giving benefit to the institution as what philosophy of OB is intended to. Okay. Then very important aspect when it comes to assessment is balanced question paper. I am talking these things, these are the objectives of new examination reforms. We should be really thankful, Ion Idea, to Dr. Ashok Shettar, the Vice Chancellor of Keli Technological University, who is a chair for Examination Reforms Committee of AICTE. They have done nationwide training after publishing recommendations. They have done the training, what is required for the institution to actually implement a precise curriculum design, and then develop the precise or balanced question paper that will lead to the success. Balanced question paper, when we talk about, it is very important that a question paper should have passing marks from remembering and understanding, but remaining 60 marks should be distributed for higher order thinking. That is how it will challenge the students, and and these things have to be published through the lesson plans well in advance. And they have got a beautiful process of publishing model question paper of your semester examination, which will give an idea what type of questions will come, and remembering understanding will have 40%. Okay, the average students will pass, but the students who put a lot of effort on higher order thinking, studies, and all that will be able to score high. Okay, so that way the balanced question paper, the advantage of balanced question paper has been really articulated well in the recommendations. So we discussed about this, how it is important, curriculum design and curriculum delivery, assessment of students have to be integrated in an institution.
Before you getting inside to the cognitive psychomotor and affectives, this one, sir, there's a small important information would like to do it for the YouTube audience by Amay. Sorry for this, he will do it within a minute. Amay, please jump in, do it for the audience and give back to Manohar Joshi, sir.
Yes. Hello, respected audience. Manohar Joshi, sir, can you please stop sharing the screen for a second so I can just connect with the audience once?
Sure. Yeah, I've done it. Thank you.
Yeah. Respected audience, thank you so much for staying till now. It's been 3 hours. We really appreciate your patience and the love you have been showing for the conference. The next session will begin at 2 p.m. sharp. All right, 2 p.m. sharp. I have shared the link for the session 2 on the YouTube chat. I will drop the link on the email as well as the WhatsApp group. The next session is on competency or research arguments. It would be like interactive session between the speakers. They will be discussing about the various concepts about competency or research. All right. This current session, which is currently going on about Eon India by respected Manoj Joshi sir, is a sponsored session. Those who would like to take benefit of their technology, their experience, and implement their technology at their respective schools, colleges, or universities, please stay back, take the full benefit of the session. So you can connect with the Eon India team later after the conference get over and take benefit of their expertise. All right. Others, please note the session 2 will begin at 2 p.m. sharp. All right. The link will be shared shortly. Thank you so much for staying. I look forward to you all meeting you all in the session 2. Thank you so much. Over to you, Eon India team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Amaya. I hope I'll be able to share the screen. Yes, I can.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Moving forward, I will have another 3-4 slides. After that, I will hand it over to Mr. Mohammad Kalim and Professor Yogesh, who want to probably walk through the solution, how it helps and all that. And also, Dr. Raghavendra sir, you mentioned about that this platform is going to make a channel between the solution providers and the government, and finally the colleges at the remote level, and the colleges which can't afford much and all that. We are highly interested. We are coming here with a success which is created with hundreds of institutions. Not only here, we have been working with Indo-US collaboration IUC since last 5 years, and we have grown these solutions with the knowledge and the guidance of all these people, professors. So with this success, we are coming and collaborating with you. I hope you will be helping us to connect with the government, and we are ready to help the institutions if they are able to take us, and then we can put a system which can be very affordable and which can be used by all the institutions. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
Pleasure is mine, sir. I try all my exercise to reach out for the government of India and respective state government to get connected, sir. Thanks
Absolutely.
for the beautiful words. We are there for
Yeah.
you, and we will
Yeah.
definitely do it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, moving forward, in a college, I'm sure all of you, especially placement professors and the dean academics, you will have this question, like people who are picking a lot of students, employers from your institution, they'll come back and say, your students are very good as an individual contributor, but when it comes to a team, they are not very good at in the team, working as a team. Now, is it not a very good input for you to bring that into your curriculum and bring it into a teaching learning activities, bring it in the activities and assess those and bring that back into the attainment analysis, and go back and tell to those people who have given the feedback, to tell to them that I have taken your comment very seriously. This is the way we have changed our curriculum. This is the way we are, teaching and learning activities have been changed, and this is the way we are assessing, and these are the numbers of measures since compared to last year. Now if we go to this level, if he is picking 50 people this year, he will take 100 people from your institution. And they may also, another scenario, they may come and say that we are a database company, we are a data analytics company, and we want all the students in all the 4 years, what are the database subjects they have learned. We want to see the performance above 70% in all the database subjects on L4 and above. It is very complex requirement for the institutions which don't have the technology used as centrally. Now using this software, it is a click of button, it will show all the courses which are chained in the database stream, and it will take all the students performance in the activities, whether it's a formative assessments or summative assessments. It will pick all those performances L4 and above, and it will put a graphical representative individual student performance or the batch performance to show to the stakeholders saying that these are the students meeting your criteria. So as a industry person, when I hire a software engineer, I will ask the questions on Java. That is fine. That is a knowledge what he is going to. But I also want, he should be very hands-on. He should be very agile as far as technologies are concerned, usage of devices, usage of technology, how good he is exploring the new trends, how good he is on cloud, how good is he on mobility, how good is he is on documentation, how good he is on the user experience, how good he is to exploring open sources, alternative approaches, and how good he is in various installations, configurations, those kind of things. So any knowledge, it is associated, accomplished, with proper skills, hands-on skills, and then of course the emotional skills. It is very important that there are many places you can see our boy is very smart, very technically very good, but he has got no empathy for customers. They are asking in when there is a trouble, customer will ask and say that I'm stuck in this area. If you don't help me in the next 3 hours, 4 hours, I'm going to lose so and so business. If he says, if he doesn't have empathy for such of thing, and he doesn't have sense of urgency, belongingness about his project is like his product, and it is his baby, how he is going to take care about it, ownership, feel about the problem, and first you can say that yes, I can understand, we will review, we are working on it, and we'll come back. There itself, 50% of the problem is solved. The customers are going to. So basically the emotional skills one should have, and then with complementing with the doing skills, then the knowledge is going to shine, and those people will really become very good employable, and they will grow also when they are hired by an institution, they will also grow. Now how these skills can be also implemented in your curriculum design, and how you are going to assess these things are very important aspects. Now you need not have a particular moral education kind of one particular session in a week, and you cannot claim that our students are all okay. Those are also very good, but then that will not make the students ethical. They will not make students uh, extremely good in the professional skills. These all have to be implemented in day-to-day activities. If the project is there, or any mini project, or any hands-on activity is given, all these aspects can also be coming as measures in your rubric. Then you give an idea to the students that what are the advantages of demonstrating these skills, and these are going to be measured. If you tell that, then this will become a habit over a period of time by students. Now these things have to be, again, there should be a technology which will help you to take these indicators, and the teacher should be only measure it and put into the system. All system will take care of calculations, attainments across all the subjects in a semester, and all the courses across the program, and it will pull the data individual and then class wise. Otherwise it's a nightmare collecting all the data. So I'm just giving you a high level perspective what the complication is involved. And if you want to aim for really taking out the best out of this model and give benefit to the students, it has to be done to the best of its intention of its philosophy. Okay, so that implementation we are targeting. All right, so this I will skip, but the essence of this slide is the PSOs, the program specific outcomes, are specifically a provision given by the NBA to introduce new program outcomes. If at all your leading employer comes and says that I want so and so things in your student. For example, one insurance a technology company is there, and they come and say that your people are very good, but when I hire them, I want them to be a domain uh, well aware about the domain of insurance. There are so many aspects of insurance. So then you can actually make a partner with them, define an elective subject, and then bring them into the curriculum. They can come and conduct, help you to come out with the content required to this. So this is, I'm just giving an example which is coming to my mind. Similarly, there can be a new PSO or new competency within the relevant program outcome. You can always put it and measure it. That is very easy when it comes to using of this technology, right? Finally, just talking about each PO, like PO3 is there. It has got all the competencies. You can see it here: designing of a system, designing of a component, designing of a process. Now when I'm teaching one particular subject, say I'm teaching data structures, and today I'm going to cover on the lists, linked list is a subject. Now I have got a CO, and I cannot map just by saying it is correlating with level 3 to PO. Now what all I should do? It is not a subject which can teach the designing of a system and the designing of a process. It is relevant to designing of a component, and few in that competency also there are few indicators which it is targeting. If this structure is there, isolating of the competencies and putting the performance indicators like this is not the new thing we are bringing to the table. This is exactly structure which is defined in the AICTE recommendations for examination reforms. Okay, so these are all things are given in the software. It will come entire structure. What is given in the guideline will come to you with all the um, you know the competencies and standard competencies and performance indicators. The institution can modify it as per their practices. Now as a course owner, it is easy for me to map to that particular PO and target to particular competency and performance indicators. It is little difficult to understand, but the teachers who know the subject, you know know the pain area, practicing of OBE manually, they will really appreciate, yes, now I can map CO to PO and target one part of the PO which is relevant to me, and then I can define performance measurable parameters for that component. And now uh, I have got a clarity in teaching and what I'm going to achieve out of this PO3. Similarly, designing of a system, designing of a process, there may be other courses they may be targeting, right? So that software will take care, who is going, who has targeted what and what is not targeted, what is left orphan and all those kind of things. Okay, so when it comes to examination reforms, the main essence what they say is the fixed hour examinations can assess the students up to L3 or some L4, but L4 and above, it is very important that those have to be measured through course projects, mini projects, and minor projects, capstone projects, activity based assessments. Those all things are assessed through the rubrics, and for these rubrics the criteria will come from performance indicators. Then what happens, whatever you measure has got a relevance that is going to contribute to the outcomes. If you are bringing any other things in the measurement, yes, you can measure and analyze it at the course level, but actually it is not contributing to the outcomes. All right. All right, so this I will skip it because this is there in examination reforms. How you have the convention for performance indicators, that is third PO and the first competency in that the second performance indicator is denoted by 3.1.2. So if this mechanism is, this convention is institutionalized and somebody says that today my class is taking 312, immediately your mind will work. Yes, 3 means the third PO he is talking about, and he is talking about first competency which is talking about alternative design solutions for the students, and then he is talking about the second aspect which is about designing the models and prototypes and algorithms for different possibilities for the design. Okay, that means it is such an important skill. Even in the industry, we conform, and many of the software industries are conforming to a American defense standard called CMMI. Okay, in that one of the key process area it talks about that, especially in technology solution, that is design, that the students or the employees whoever work on the design, engineers, they are supposed to come with more than one alternative designs, and there will be a debate, discussion will happen, which is the best, and best one will be chosen to give a benefit to customer. It is not that design is based on one individual person's thinking. It should be a collective decision making and evaluating the alternatives. See, so important thing, the students will not know till they come to the industry. Now if we implement this particular thing, a competency and performance indicator. The student, when he goes to the industry, he will go with the experience that any design will need alternative solutions. Any design will need the way how you model it and present it, and advantages and evaluation of alternatives, and put your points further. Okay, so this is very important, and the entire thing can be assessed through problem based or project based assessments. All right, so last point, I'm talking about the balanced question paper. We talked about already about this. There should be a mechanism, technology, that should help you to see when our question paper is created. It will graphically show that L1 and L2 all put together, there are up to 40% marks are covered in this, and L3 and L4 above are higher order thinking skills, which are for the rest of the 60%. That means the question paper is well balanced. It helps the average students to pass, and good students who have put a lot of effort on higher order thinking, they are given the opportunity to score high. So that is idea. And also the another aspect of is coverage of COs. There are some core courses. Within that core courses, there are very strong courses like system design, and the first one or two COs are having very high strength of mapping, that is correlation with the POs. Those have got the highest marks coverage in the question paper. So there has to be otherwise manually it is very difficult, especially COE will get 3-4 question papers for every subject, and it is a challenge at the COE office level to choose and roll out one question paper and finally. And some of the institution are practicing that in the last minute out of 3-4 there will be one chosen. Now what is one chosen out of 4-5? There has to be a criteria basis for that. It cannot be randomly. Many are using random, but this is going to be very important, that how the question paper is balanced, whether it is allowing the average student to pass and score high for the higher order thinking skills, and also whether the CO coverage is appropriate in the question paper. Right. So this is what is mentioned. This is taken from our software, which is showing it to you how the CO coverage and Bloom's level coverage in particular sample question paper and all that. Okay, so with this, almost I'm coming to the end. Hope I have not taken much of your time, but I will end this with one final presentation on one slide. Many of you have advanced questions also. It has been now 6-7 years since we are Washington Accord signatories, and many of you have gone through the NBA assessment also. Don't you think that these are your problems? Number one, I have got many courses are there. Some are like computer science, there is system design is there. There is something called software engineering is there. Software engineering is relatively easy subject, but system design is a very complex, which uses the first PO to the highest, applying your science and mathematics fundamentals to solve complex problems. Now if that kind of situation is there, your thresholds for courses COs attainment are different. Yes or no? We cannot have a same thresholds. We keep same thresholds because it is very difficult for calculations. Okay, so there should be a system which will allow us to define different thresholds course wise, and within the course also CO level, there are first two COs having high degree of mapping, high degree of correlation with the POs, and then I need to have maximum weightage given to that, and the thresholds also are to be different. So that should be there. And then when I manage, when I define a question paper, there will be several COs attached, 1 or 2 or 3 COs, those may be attached to one particular question. So that also need to there should be a mechanism how we calculate. Similarly, there are many challenges related to tier 2 institutions, like in syllabus is given by university, why we should define curriculum, why curriculum design marks are there, and I solve a complex problem. Okay, this is quite a little advanced, so you can go through offline. There are all these problems what I have listed is echoed by the academic fraternity to us, and these are all problems we have solved through our solutions, and we help the institutions to solve these problems. Okay, so having said this, I think I have taken a lot of time, and I'm just handing over back to Dr. Raghavendra sir and Amaya to take it forward. Thank you. If any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Marha sir, for giving a wonderful insight on the ION ideas, especially on OBE platform, how it could be able to work upon. well, must say, we will definitely try to reach out by larger perspective that, there are many people who have been looking into the YouTube, and the audience will also look upon whether how to reach you people. I'm pretty sure that, if you could able to connect your contact and email address so that, many audience people will definitely reach out. With this, I thank again SkillSlate India for giving an opportunity for COE India as well as Ion Idea to share their thoughts. Tomorrow also we have another sponsor session, series 2. Hopefully that all audience will definitely come back and know about the other products of Ion Idea. Having said this, Amay, over to you. Amay? In meantime, Yogesh, if you could able to share your contacts, so it will be helpful.
Sure, sir. We'll share the contact, sir.
Yogesh sir, do you want me to allow you to share screen to make you host?
No, not required. I am just searching for the board, so I can write the lesson.
Amay sir, can you make me as a host? I'll share my screen.
Yeah, please. Make Kalim as the host.
Yes. Yes, sir. Kalim sir, you are good to go.
Yeah, I'll be sharing the contact screen.
Ladies and
any
gentlemen,
additional query?
Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube audiences, various faculty, fraternity, and students committee, please take a note of this contact of Ion Ideas. Hopefully, their software will be definitely beneficial for your end, for your institution. I'm pretty sure that the software, the product which they are trying to pitch before you all will be very much, useful and gives greater advantages when it comes to the reference of National Education Policy 2020, and even with the OBE, and even with people who are looking forward for the greater heights of ABET. And I'm pretty sure that this will definitely be a very useful product. So having said this, Kalim, you please put some note on this.
Yes. For any online demonstration or discussion, we are ready. You can contact us. Thank you, Raghavendra sir. Thank you, Idea, for giving an opportunity.
Over to you, Amay.
Thanks a lot, Kalim sir. Thanks a lot, Ion India team, for the wonderful presentation and sharing about how your software, your company, and how your vision works and what work you are planning to do in the education field. Thank you so much. I thank all the team, all the members, all the speakers who are here, who shared their experience and their expertise with us. Thank you so much for your time. I thank all the audience who has stayed till now as well. Now it's 3.5 hours, but you guys are still staying with us. That's a wonderful thing. Thank you so much for all the love. We will start the session 2 at 2 p.m. sharp. Till then, please have your lunch quickly. We just have 30 minutes for today. So please have your lunch fast, and see you at sharp 2 p.m. Thank you so much all. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I am ending this meeting. I will end this YouTube live, dear audience. Thank you so much on behalf of COE India and SkillSlate Pune. Thank you so much.